Yes, so this is the flow of workshop. Okay, we will begin at 9:50. Okay, good morning, dear all. Good morning, Director Sir and my colleagues of VIIT Varanasi. On the behalf of VIIT, we welcome you all on the workshop on how to crack MCA and MBA CET 2021. As we are aware about that, the CET dates have been scheduled, and for the MCA, 15th of September is the date of schedule of examination of MCA CET, and for MBA curriculum, the CET dates are 16, 17, and 18th of September 2021. So, as a tradition or giving a right input for our community, our society, and our aspirants of MCA and MBA program, every year we're organizing such kind of wonderful course at a free of cost on the behalf of Vidya Pratishthans Institute of Information Technology. I welcome all of you once again. I request now Honorable Director and Motivator of this program of our institute, Dr. Deshmukh sir, to share his views and guide us on the same occasion. I hand over the session for the introductory remark addressed by Dr. Deshmukh sir. Sir, please.
Okay. Very good morning to you all my faculty members, and the aspirants for MBA and MCA, my dear students. A very good morning to you all. On behalf of Vidya Pratishthans Institute of Information Technology, I welcome you all for this workshop on how to crack MBA as well as MCA Common Entrance Test examination, which is scheduled in the next week. Now, it is not only to crack, but to get good marks or to score more marks. We have initiated this particular guidance for the students who are appearing for this entrance test. Vidya Pratishthan Institute of Information Technology has a legacy of 20 years of providing world-class quality management education to the students from sub-rural and rural areas in the management, computer and information technology field. The salient features which you might have gone through, already the slides have been displayed, but it's my duty to tell you about VIIT and its salient features. We have the legacy of leadership of inclusive vision, qualified and experienced faculty members we have world-class state-of-art infrastructure, 5 computer laboratories of 60 having 60 computers each, well-stacked library, seminar hall and amphitheater, Wi-Fi enabled campus. We have PhD Research Center which is affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. We have a separate boys as well as girls hostel. Excellent sports and cultural amenities are provided. The domain and case-based learning. We celebrate the national festivals as well as the social events within the campus. We provide guidance for the students who are going for the further studies, the higher studies. Lush, green, eco-friendly environment we have, and we have a separate entrepreneurship development sale. Industry institute interaction also is there continuously. We organize the industrial visits. We organize the guest lectures, seminars, conferences, etc. for the overall development of the students. Then there is a separate training and placement department which provides the assistance for the internship as well as the final placement in various industries. So mainly, in addition to that, there are some certification courses which are provided for the students. Here we aim at developing the overall personality of the students by way of the rigorous training to the students. At VIIT, we run mainly two courses. That is MBA, we have intake of 60 students. MCA, that is the another program, we have intake of 60 students. So we have 60 students each program, that is the intake which is approved by All India Council of Technical Education and which is approved by Director of Technical Education, Maharashtra State. Institute is affiliated to, permanently affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. The institute is NAC accredited. In the first cycle, we have got the A grade, and in the second cycle recently, we have been accredited with B grade. So, my dear students, we have organized this particular workshop. Take the benefit of it, and definitely we are going to help you even if in the next process, that is of filling up the option forms. For MCA, the CET is scheduled on Wednesday, 15th of September, and for MBA, it is on Thursday, 16th, then Friday, 17th, and Saturday, 18th of September, this particular, the next week. So, our faculty members, in-house faculty, we will provide you the guidance of the different sections which have been included there in the syllabus of MBA as well as MCA CET. So take the benefit of it, and we are ready to help you at each and every step wherever required. Even if, as I have told you, that even if while filling up the option forms, we will guide you, and this is a very good opportunity. Even if we are talking about, we are facing going through the pandemic for last 1.5 years, but the education should not be stopped. We have started with, even if government has given the directives regarding the online examination, and whenever the situation comes under control, it will be the offline. You can visit our campus. We are at campus only every day, and you can visit the campus. You can solve the queries. Also, you can ask, you can meet me. I am also available, and all the faculty members are available for guiding you. And last but not least, this is the festival season. So I wish you all the happy Ganesh and Gauri festival. But at the same time, you should not forget about that you have to prepare for the entrance, which is scheduled on, that is for MCA on Wednesday, and for MBA, that is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So enjoy the festival, but at the same time, do not forget to prepare wholeheartedly for uh, clearing this particular entrance, scoring good marks in the common entrance examination. And with this, I wish you good luck, best of luck for your entrance examinations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable inputs for our aspirants. And definitely, these inputs are going to help them to crack the CET with good numbers, as you said, and they definitely work very hard for the same. Thank you, sir, once again. Now we'll proceed further with our schedule. The first session is of logical reasoning, which is going to be covered by Dr. Manisha and Mr. Ajit. I request Dr. Manisha to start her session. Dr. Manisha, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Just give me 2 minutes. I will present my screen.
Okay.
Okay, is it visible, sir? Hello, sir. Screen is visible.
No, ma'am. Actually, this thing. Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, fine. Good morning, all of you. I am Dr. Manisha Shilkande. Today, me and Mr. Ajit Arsu sir will discuss about logical reasoning. Then, the logical reasoning section in that MBA or MCA CET, it's designed to test the candidate's critical thinking and reasoning ability. And these includes various areas like alphabets, then codes, then relativity, number series, picture, diagram based, and patterns. So the questions are based on these all types of areas. We will discuss later on all examples according to these patterns and all. Then, first of all, let's have a look on distribution of abstract and logical reasoning in MBA and MCA CET. So first of all, for MBA, in logical and abstract reasoning, there are total 100 questions. For logical reasoning, they have 75 questions, 1 marks each. It means 75 marks. And abstract reasoning, 25 questions, 1 marks each. It means 25 marks. So total questions for logical as well as abstract reasoning, total 100 questions. So it means 50% questions are on logical reasoning and abstract reasoning. So that's why students, you need to focus on these areas to score in CET. Then for MBA, total 200 questions and time is 150 minutes. So if you see 200 questions and time is 150 minutes, it means you are not getting at least 1 minute for one question. The time is less than 1 minute. So maybe 50 seconds for one question. Then for MCA, total 100 questions, 2 marks each question. It means total 200 marks. 100 questions, 200 marks. And for that logical and abstract reasoning, there are 30 questions, 2 marks each. It means marks are 60. For MBA, there is no any negative marking system, but for MCA, negative marking system is there, and 0.5 marks will be deducted for every wrong answer. ओके तुमचा एक क्वेश्चन जर चुकला तर तिथे तुमचा हाफ मार्क्स डिडक्ट होईल. ओके सो दिस इज फॉर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फॉर लॉजिकल अँड abstract reasoning. Then we will discuss about the nature of logical reasoning and abstract reasoning. So what is nature? If you consider logical reasoning, it's usually on series completion, analogy, similar pair, circular arrangement, linear arrangement, vertical arrangement, rows, scheduling, matrix, logical comparison, coding, direction, and data sufficiency and verbal reasoning. Then if you consider abstract reasoning, this section of MS CET question paper consists of questions on series completion, analogy and similar pair, but the difference is the candidates have to solve the questions on the basis of images. Okay, so this is for nature. Then what we have to do in CET or in examination. So the first point is practice, practice and practice.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, sir.
Are you changing slides on your end?
Yes, sir.
Okay, actually here yeah, there is your first slide only. Yuvraj sir, first slide आहे ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
मॅडम स्लाइड्स चेंज होत नाहीयेत.
Just a minute, sir.
या Anil sir is coming to you to help you.
Okay, sir.
Madam,
Sagar, sir, now it's changing.
Now we are seeing first slide, second slide.
Okay.
Yes, alphabet codes, relativity. Yes, yes,
Okay, fine.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, the first thing is practice, practice and practice. See, the simple rule of logical reasoning preparation is practice, because there is no any formula to be memorized and no any theorem to be understood. All you can do is just practice all types of questions from reasoning section. Then elimination method means what? First of all, read the questions carefully. Break down the questions into parts to know what is the actual question. The clue to the right answer is usually in the questions only. Start with rejecting the impossible options until you arrive at the right option or the one closest options or answer to that particular question. Then visualize the problem or draw patterns. So you need to draw the diagrams or the patterns. Use a rough page, pencil or paint to draw all these work and all, and then visualize the problem and then try to solve the or find out the question. Then focus on balancing speed and accuracy and the time management. See, don't spend too much time on preparation of difficult question, as the time is very limited. The exam often has some tricky questions, so leave them for easier questions and come back later if time permits. First of all, solve the easy questions, leave the difficult questions, and if time permits, then you can come back to the difficult questions again. Okay. Then see, questions based on alphabets and codes. So for this, you need to draw a one diagram before start to solve the question. See, the English alphabets contains 26 letters total. The first half is the first 13 letters. It means from A to M. And then for the second half, again remaining 13 letters, that is N to Z. So arrange this according to this: A to M and then N to Z, and give numbering to them. Start that A is 1 and Z is 26, and again the reverse pattern, that Z is 1 and A is 26. So likewise, this diagram you need to draw. It will help you for that coding or sequencing the alphabets while solving the question. Okay. And then second thing is, remember that EJOT, EJOTY. So what is that EJOT? It means E is the 5th letter, J is the 10th letter, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. E is 5th letter, then J is 10th letter, O is 15th, T is 20th, Y is 25th letter. So it will help you to find out the any letters by numbering from the alphabet. See, for example, you need to find the 12th letter from the left side. Then we know that J is the 10th letter. So it means J is the 10th letter, it means L will be the 12th letter of the alphabet. So if you remember that EJOTI, it will help you to find out the letters by numbers. So these are the two tricks to solve the logical reasoning questions. Now let's start with some examples. So the first from the alphabets from A to Z, and the question is, which letter in this alphabet is the 8th letter to the right of the letter, and which is the 10th letter to the left of the last but one letter of the alphabet? Options are A, W, B, X, C, I, D, G. Now see, read the question carefully. Start to read the question from the end. In the given alphabet, last but one letter of alphabet is Y. Okay, so Y. Now, next is which is the 10th letter to the left of Y. So the 10th letter to the left of Y is, just count it. Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is O. Right? 10th letter to the Y is O. Now you need to find the 8th letter to the right of that particular letter. It means O, and from O, 8th letter to the right, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means the 8th letter is W. So the answer is option A. Yes, are you getting it, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So in this way, you need to solve the questions. Then we will move towards the next question. So what should come next in the following letter sequence? The sequence is, the first one is A, second one is AB, then ABC, ABCD, ABCD dash. It's a very simple question. Yes, students, what will be the answer for the sequence?
E.
Option C.
Yes, correct. Then the next one is, which letter will come exactly between the 10th letter from your left and the 7th letter from your right side without changing any order in the original form of the alphabet? Options N, P, O, and Q. Now see, if you draw the diagram, then you can easily find out. First is you need to find out the 10th letter from your left. So 10th letter from your left is J, right? And then 7th letter from your right. So 7th letter from your right is T. Okay. Then you need to find the middle one, right, of the J and T. So between the J and T, there are K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Right? So 9 letters are there. So 9, you need to find the middle one. So just leave first 4 and last 4. So the middle one is, yes, the mid letter between J and T is O. Right? So the answer is option C. Okay. First of all, you need to find the 10th letter from your left, which is J. Then seventh letter from your right, that is T, and then middle letter is O. Then next question is, if it is possible to form a word with the first, fourth, seventh and 11th letters in the word given word, write the second letter of that word. See, it means first of all, you need to find out the letters. Now see, which letters? First letter. First letter is yes. Then fourth letter. Fourth letter is E. Right? Then seventh letter. Seventh letter is L. And the 11th letter is again that last one is yes. So the words are, sorry, letters are yes, E, L, yes. Now by using these 4 letters, you need to find a one word. So see, if you take as it is, then yes, E, L, S, no any letter. If you take E at first, then no. If you take L, then we will form a word that is less. L-E-S-S. And the next question is, yes, the second letter of that particular word. Then which is the second letter of the word less? Yes, students?
E.
E, right. It means the answer is option B. Okay? Yes, are you getting it? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Then we
ma'am.
will-
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Then we will move towards the next question. In the following alphabet, second half is written first and then the first half is arranged in reverse order. Then which of the following will be the 5th letter to the left of 16th letter from your right? See, here you need to first of all write down the second half. It means second half from letter N to Z. So you need to write these as a first. So start writing that alphabet from N. So the first 13, N to Z. Okay. And then from that A to M, you need to write it in a reverse order. So N to M, after this M, you need to write the remaining but in a reverse order. So reverse order from M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, E, likewise. Okay, then first hint is open. Now, second is, then which of the following will be the 5th letter to the left of 16th letter? It means first of all, we need to find out the 16th letter. So which one is the 16th letter from your right? See here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It means X. And then you need to find out the 5th letter to the left of 16. It means 5th letter to the left of X. So now 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is yes. So this is a one way. See, I already told you that there is no any formula, fixed formula or any theorem to solve the logical reasoning questions. It's all about logic. So maybe one person apply another logic, second person apply another logic. So the logic may be different, but the answer should be a correct or a same, right? So this is a one way. Another way, if after writing this, that second half at the first and then the first half in a reverse order, see, 16th letter to the right. So 16th and then again 5th letter to the left. It means 16 plus 5, total 21. So you need to simply find out 21th letter from your right and the letter is yes. Then answer is option A. Yes? कळत आहे? लॉजिक मे बी डिफरंट असेल बट आन्सर शुड बी करेक्ट. आन्सर सेमच येणार आहे. मग तुम्ही याप्रमाणे जा की बाबा 16 प्लस 5 टोटल 21, but 21 21वा लेटर फाइंड आउट करायचं. अदरवाइज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फाइंड आउट 16th letter from your right and then find out 5th letter to that particular 16th letter. Okay, then next question. If the letter in the word, that given letter, are rearranged in the alphabetical order, which letter will be second to the right of middle letter? See, they have given a one letter. First of all, you need to rearrange it in a alphabetical order. So in alphabetical order, it means if A is there, then A will come first, then B, C, D, right? So here no A, B, C, D, E. So E will come first. So likewise, you need to rearrange that particular word according to the alphabetical order. Okay, and that order is EHIMNRTUU. Okay, so it's fine. We rearrange that word in alphabetical order. Now, which letter will be second to the right of middle letter? So, from the right, second letter is a U. Then answer, which letter will be second to the right of middle letter? So, first of all, we need to find out the middle letter. Okay, so which one is the middle letter? Yes, N. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 9 letters. You need to find out the middle. It means the fifth one, which is a N. And for that N, the letter will be second to the right. Second to the right, which is a, yes?
B.
Yes. Then the option is, answer is option B. So students, because of the time, we will just same questions, we will leave that particular questions. I will share the PPT with you, so you can get these questions from the PPT. We will simply move towards the next type of questions. Now see, in a certain code, student is written as TUTDNES. How will sources be written in that particular code? So here you need to find out the changes between these students and the new word. Okay, so what are the changes? See, the first change is there are 7 letters in the word. Okay, student, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters are there. Out of these 7 letters, the middle letter, that is D, has been left intact. It means D here in that student word, D is at 4th place. In another letter, new letter again, new word, again D letter is at middle. It means they have not changed the position of D or the 4th letter. Okay, then the first and the last letters of the word have interchanged their position. See, yes and T. T comes here, T is at last, here T comes at first. Yes is at first, here yes goes to the last. So the first and last letters change their position. And then that second and third letter, T and U, they just change their position. T, U, U, T. Same for that E and N, N, E, right? So the second and third letters and the fifth and sixth letters have changed their position. So same practice we will do for the sources. See, for the sources, the middle letter, that is R, is at same position. Now we need to change the position of first letter and last letter. Same letters are there. So yes, yes. Then for that second and third, O and U, OU, here we will just change their position, U, O. And then C and E, here again we will change the position, E, C. It means the word is yes, U, O, R, E, C, yes. It means the answer is option B.
B.
Okay, so in this type of questions, you need to find what they have changed. Is they change the position of letters or they use another letter for that particular one letter, likewise, and then you need to find out the answer. Then again, it's the same type of question. The certain code learning is written as another word, and then how the surprise be written in the. So same, you need to find out what changes they did for that learning to change that particular word, and then find out the answer. So we will just simply move to the next question. See, here the number code is there. If private is coded as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the risk is coded as 2, 3, 9, 8, how the reverse coded? See here, you need to find out the word and the code. That is P. 1 is for P, then 2 is for R, likewise. And then if now you know R, for R they use 2. So rivets R, it means for R 2. Then I, for I they use, yes, 3. Then phi, for V they use, phi is here, fourth one. So 4,
C is correct.
4. Yes, option?
C.
C option.
Yes.
C.
Right. So option C is a correct answer. So he, likewise, you need to find that which number is for which letter, and then you need to code or find out the correct answer. Then see, which will come between these. They have given SCD, TEF, UGH, WKL. Here, you need to find out. Then see.
B.
There are 2 alphabetical series here. S, T, U.
C.
No. Just consider the first
C.
letter of. Okay, answer is C. See, wait for other students.
C.
First sequence, yeah, option C is the correct answer. But listen the explanation. S, T, U, V, and W, and then C, D, E, F, G, H, then here I, J, K, L. So answer is V, I, J, option C. Okay. And fill the sequence. Same, you need to find the sequence or the code, and then you need to find the correct answer. So it's already 10:30. So here we will stop. There are other questions, total 20 questions are there. We will share the PPT. From the PPT, you can get the questions, then the explanation, the hints, as well as the correct answer. So here we will stop that session. And now for the remaining part, I request Mr. Ajit Arsu sir to please continue the session.
Hello. Can you hear me properly? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, friends. I hope you are enjoying the session. Do not, rather, without taking any kind of the stress. So we'll proceed with the remaining part. Thank you, madam. Okay, is this visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine, my dear friends. After the wonderful session by Dr. Manisha, I will give the guidelines on the remaining part of this logical reasoning related part. Please mute yourself.
Please mute yourself.
Yeah. My dear friend, this could be happen that a question paper may include such kind of finding out the odd one out. म्हणजे ह्याच्यामधला वेगळा कुठला आहे. That odd one out that we wanted to identify it. So what happened, my dear friends, in this such kind of questions? Series has been given. At the beginning only I have given one answer for you, then later on we'll discuss on it. So what is the number has been given? 5, 15, 20, then a set of number 10, 30 and 40, then 4, 12 and 15, and the last one is 25, 50, and 75. If such kind of the questions may raise, my dear friends, so we wanted to first of all identify in between that number set. So first set of number is 5, then addition of or the difference between 5 and 15 is of a 10, and 15 and 20 is of a 5. So it is in divisible by 5, that you can say, or multiplied by 5, the difference is there. Then 10, 30, and 40, we do have a difference of a 20 and a 10. Am I correct? Are you with me, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we do have another set, that is 4, 12, and 13, 15, where a certain kind of a doubtfulness in your mind, as madam rightly said, that we have to identify the option which is appropriately incorrect for our options. And the last set is about 25, 50, and 75. So the differential parameters are number 25 each. 25 plus 25 is 50, plus 25 is 25. So what we have been observed that the differentiating values are in multiplication of the 5 between set 1, set 2, and set last, that is the fourth. But remaining is 4, 12, and 15. We do have a different. So 4 plus definitely how many are going to add for 12? It's 8, and for 12 to 15 it's 3. So other set of number, they are in the multiplication of a 5, or difference is going to be divisible by 5. But in this case of a set number 4, 12, and 15, it is not going to be observed as like of other 3 sets of number. So our option C, which quote us a 4, 12, and 15, that is the odd one out. Are you getting my point, my dear friends?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Now see, this is of what another tricky question for you. Can you please, anybody wanted to tell me the answer and how it is? See, sometimes we need not to think much more. That is the clue that I wanted to give you. The number has been given. Sorry. Hello. Option B, absolutely true. We don't want it to sometimes give, or we need not to give. Rather, we need not to give much stress. It's nothing but 888 is the answer. The logic behind is of what? The number is repeated 3 times and other numbers are not repeated. So every time we have to take attention and we have to identify with many more ideologies. It does not happen. Certain kind of trickiness is going to be applied as well. So option B. Now, while solving these questions like a number series, so which number is going to be replaced to the underline mark? And the series has been given like a 2, 5, 10, 17, dash 37. So we wanted to identify which number is missing. So what we are going to do, we are going to observe this series of number. So first number is a 2, then we are going to observe 5, then 10. So we wanted to correlate in between these numbers. So first of all, I would like to go for a differentiating parameter. So what is the difference between 2 and 5? Number difference is approximately 3 numbers are there. Then 5 to 10 is of a 5. 10 to 17 is of a 7. Then ultimately, if the difference goes with 3, 5, 7, ultimately it will be for the next number is how much? It's a 9.
26.
Yes.
26.
Correct. So 17 plus 9 is 26. And you can check it again. Yes. After 9, we
26.
are going to add a difference of 11 numbers. So 26 plus 11, 37. So our answer is appropriately right. So very good. You are also participating. That's a good sign. Again, in the same manner, if I'm going to ask the question, see here what we have seen about the difference. Now, this is of what, which number is going to replace the underline mark. Now, please, will you please tell me what is the logic to solve this problem? Anybody? Look at here, 2, 10, 40, 20. So I'm going to observe this number, and what I observe that 2 multiplied 5 is 10, 10 multiplied by 4 is 40, 40 multiplied by 3 is 120. So if it is a multiplicand by 5, 4, 3, so definitely it would be of a 2. So 120 multiplied by 2, it would be the answer, and that is of, yes, that is of A. Very true, madam. Thank you. So we need to identify such kind of the logic what they have been applied. Here 2 multiplied by 5, answer goes for multiplication of 5. 10 and 40, 10 into 4 it goes for 40, 40 into 3 it goes for 120. So definitely 120 into 2, that is for the 240. So we need to identify the proper option A, and then you have to click it on your examination paper. And what number should come in the next? See, this is of what the numbers it has been given: 18, 21, 25. Again 18 is common. 18, 29, 33. Again 18 is common, and 2 numbers are missing. So we have to identify which set after 18, or which number of
Option
set
D.
is going to be.
Option D.
Option D. Why it is so?
Option D.
Why it is so?
Sorry. Option C, sir.
Why? It's absolutely right, but why? How it
Sir,
is?
18. After that, 21 and 25.
Yeah.
The difference is of 4.
Very
Then
good.
again 18. Again 29 to 33. Option difference is of 4. Again 18. And त्याच्या अगोदर सर 21 25 त्याच्यामध्ये 4चा डिफरन्स आहे. मग 33च्या पुढे 4चा डिफरन्स घेऊन 37 41. C, option
Wonderful, my dear friends. So, my dear friends, as like this, we have to solve such kind of the pattern of the questions. So, absolutely true. It is the option C, where 37 and 41 numbers are going to observe after 18. So, 18, 37, and 41. We'll move ahead. Now, again, it's a tricky for us. Which number will replace the last session? So the triangles have been given, and certain kind of the numbers have been given at the each edge, and again in the circle numbers have been given. So let observe this pattern, and anybody is going to tell me what will come down, or what will come question mark. Why 9? How it is? Why?
कारण खालच्या 2 नंबर मधून त्यांचं मल्टिप्लिकेशन करायचं आणि वरच्या नंबरचा ऍडिशन करायचं.
Yes, absolutely true. So look at the first diagram. 6 into 2 is 12 plus 7. Upper top corner 7 that we are going to add. The answer come in the circle in between, 19. Similarly, 8 into 4 plus 1, that is 33. And again, if you are going to multiply, so what could be the answer? Option is very true. Option is D. 2 into 9, it could come as 18 plus 5, that is the 23. So accordingly, my dear friends, see, there are different patterns of the question. So accordingly, we need to identify how we are going to solve the problem, which are most appropriate answer that we wanted to identify. Now look at over here. Certain kind of the relationship is going to be asked to you. This relationship could be in front of you, like cricket, and the pitch has been given. Then what could be? Find the relationship and select the one as like a cricket and pitch. What could be the right option out of A, B, C, D? Anyone?
Boxing ring.
Yes. Cricket is playing on the pitch. So that area has been properly given. So boxing is the right answer, where rings are there, and accordingly the boxing and the ring, that is the right answer as far as this question is concerned. So likewise, the relationship has been given. First of all, we need to understand what has been given in the example, and that relationship has to be established, must have to be established in our mindset, and accordingly we need to identify which answer could be the most appropriate over here. I will give one more example like this one: ocean and the desert, and accordingly what could be come down after waves?
Ripples.
How it is ripples? Ocean. Ocean means of what? Ocean means of what?
Dust.
Yes, ocean. I'm talking about. It's
Ocean means waves.
Ocean and desert.
Sorry, B. Option B. Sand dunes.
Sand dunes. How it is?
Sand dunes.
How it is?
Sir,
Ocean waves and desert sand dunes.
Opposite.
Yeah,
ocean
exactly.
waves,
So
desert
yes.
sand dunes.
Yes, if ocean and deserts have been given, ocean indicating waves over here. So what about the desert? The desert waves are definitely called as sand dunes. It has been observed in डेझर्ट्स. आपण जे स्ट्रक्चर पाहतो बघा, काही काही लोकांच्या डेस्कटॉपच्या स्क्रीनवरती असतो. The same thing, the sand dunes is the right option over here. Now look at over here. If I'm going to quote, bank is related to the money in the same way as transport is to be related what?
Goods.
Yes, absolutely true. See, what is the functionality here? Yes, functionality has been given. So accordingly, transportation is related to not for traffic, but the main is of what? The goods. Otherwise, somebody is going to say, sir, it's a speedy transportation. No, most appropriate answer is of a goods, where we are going to select the right answer over here. Now again, I will come down to the odd one out. Options have been given to you: flourish, renovate, blossom, and thrive. I will give the hint to you, my dear friends. Sometimes it might happen the synonyms have been given. Synonyms. Any idea? Yes, madam. Yes, it's the option renovate. Renovate is the option which is odd one out. Others are having the same meaning. A blossom, option C, option D, and option A. It has the same meaning. All these are synonymous word, but renovate is an odd one out over here. So make it sure. Renovate means of what? To make new again. So make it very sure that such a certain kind of the synonyms that they are going to ask you, and you are going to identify odd one out of these. Another one for your tricky ideology: a mango, a papaya, apple, and orange. The options have been given A, B, C, D. And what has been asked? We have to identify odd one out. Any idea? See, it's a simple idea. What? All except mango, they have more than one seed. It's nothing but a simple logic. Yes. So all except mango have more than one seed. So option A, mango, is the odd one out. Number of seeds approximately it has been considered or logically identified. So option A is the right answer over here. So likewise, my dear friend, odd one out is going to be asked. I'm not going to cover everyone, but I am going to give an ideology of the similar pattern. So odd one out, it's a debit, deposit, deduction, and withdrawal.
Deposit.
Yes, because of what? All except deposit are the indication of the reduction of your money, and deposit is only indication of which is not going to signify reduction. That is of what we wanted to identify odd one out. Option B is the right option. Then certain kind of the relationship has been given: man and biography. Then what for the nation?
History.
It's yes, it's a geography, it's a leader or a history. So see, my dear friend, what is the funda over here? We wanted to just correlate the relationship between first parameter or first set of parameter, what has been given, man and its biography is going to be written. Accordingly, the nation has a history, so we wanted to rightly identify the option A. Then certain kind of questions may arise. There are some relationships has been given between the diagrams, like A, like B, like C, and D, whatever it may be. So they are going to ask you about the question, what could come down instead of the question mark. So what has been given in A, B, C, D? Look at the diagrams. A diagram which has given a two empty circles. B diagram has given one circle at the middle, but which is filled with the color. Then C has been given with the two circles at the two corners with the filled color. But what could be the option D? I have given you the answer as well for the first time. So what? Option D, that is a fourth number, where the empty circle at the middle place will come down. Are you getting my point? Are you sure, everyone?
Yes, sir.
See, it's a very
Yes,
simple,
sir.
yes, it's a very simple logic that we wanted to apply. First of all, do not afraid of such kind of diagrams. Diagram असेल मग आपल्याला काय व्हायचं, कसं लॉजिक लागायचं, काही नाहीये. We just have to keep calm and we have to observe the pattern. Abstract reasoning, which based upon a pattern what has been given. At the first diagram, diagram A, we do have empty circles at the two corners. Then second diagram which has a circle at the middle but which is filled with the color. C option, again you are going to see two circles at the two corners but which have been filled with the color. So what is remaining now? a circle diagram. So in option A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, we do have only one option as a D or fourth option where a single circle is there. But the pattern says that we need a circle with emptiness. So option 4 is the right and appropriate answer. Are you getting my point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I think so you are enjoying the session, no? Okay. See, such kind of a diagrams are going to be observed. We need to identify again what comes down into the question mark. Directions have been given. Direction A, direction B, arrow number C, and what would we come down into the question mark? That is option D. So the option, you can look at the pattern. So direction, yes, direction has been given appropriately, then it has been turned down, then abstractly, exactly in opposite manner, B to C, exactly in opposite manner, and now we wanted to identify for correlation with option A. Sorry, rather diagram A, so it could be the option C is the right option. Now, look at over here, find the right diagram. What they are going to ask you now, a pattern has been changed. Find the right diagram for D from the alternative. So options has been given and we need to identify what is the diagram which is going to replace the question mark. So first has been what has been given, a diagram which states a shape like a V. Then B, which is going to be duplicated rather. V is going to be duplicated. आपण याला W म्हणतोय पण look at it as one of a diagram has been given. For option C, again the pattern has been changed, and what could be the pattern in D? So if it is going to be observed in A and B, twice in number of the certain kind of a shape, then ultimately C to D again the twice in number which is going to be attached as observed in option A. त्यामुळं एकदम सोपं आहे. थोडं लक्षात ठेवायचं की you should not be in a worry that how it has to be observed. Look at the pattern which has been given. It could be certain kind of the corrective measures. It could be some certain kind of directions that they are being used. It could be certain kind of number of lines that they wanted to identify. Look at one more question for you. Okay. Now, as far as this diagram is concerned, no, A and B. Look at relationship which has been given in A and B. Then C is there, and what could be in the place of a D? Look at A diagram and B diagram. In addition to A diagram, what has been given in the B diagram मध्ये addition काय केलेली बघा, extra addition is of what? The triangle is going to be observed in B, which is more than option A. Now, as far as C diagram is given, and we need to identify now D. So accordingly, we are also going to assess the remaining options or the options which have been given below. A, B, C, and D, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you can observe that triangle has to be installed. We have to install in that between that square. So and direction has to be again at the fourth point which has been given. Option च्या 4 मध्ये जी diagram दाखवलेली आहे, तीच diagram आपल्याला हवी at the same pattern of B. Are you getting my point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the appropriate answer. Same pattern. Okay, we'll move ahead. Now look at over here. Now find the right diagram for D from the alternatives. Now see, the parameters that we have been used earlier, these are quite different. Now what has been given? Two half circles, semicircles has been given in A diagram A. Now these half circles are going to be clubbed together to formulate one diagram as a circle, complete circle. Now the same pattern that we must have to observe for C and D. So if we are going to join the two patterns which has been given in option C, so ultimately the particular option number 3rd, which is going to suffice to form a proper square. So option C is the right option, or option 3rd is the right answer. Are you with me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now look at this question. Look at this question. Choose the figure which is quite different one. Now again the pattern has been changed. In logical reasoning and abstract reasoning, any time that they wanted to ask you a tricky question. Now look at this diagram patterns. Choosing the figure which is different. So they are going to ask you odd one out. So simply what has been given over here, the two compartments have been given, two rectangles have been given in each and every option. and each rectangle space has one circular shape which is filled with the color. Similarly for B, it could be observed anywhere. It could be in a C, and what happened in option number D, that the two circles in the only one rectangle. So we are going to identify it as the figure which is different than the earlier 1, 2 and 3 options. Okay. Now look at over here. Choose the figure which is different one. Now see, logic which has been used, sometimes it might happen, no, we are going to think in detail or what could be the answer over here. Look at the pattern. See, 1, 2, 3 and 4, A, Z and N, the letters you are going to say these are the shapes. Now A, Z and N I have marked particularly for the answers as well for these diagrammatic representations. So option A, C and D, or 1, 2 and 1, 3 and 4, the numbers or the digits have been prepared with the help of three lines. But when we are talking about an option B, E, that is in the form of a E, we do have 1, 2, 3 and one more. So 4 lines have been used or clubbed together to formulate a letter or a shape, that is option B. Are you getting my point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So make it sure. You should have a random click or random glance on the options. What are given in front of us. So accordingly, we need to plan and we need to formulate a strategy to solve it. Again, look at over here. Certain kind of diagrams have been given to you, and look at the width, or you could look at the length of the arrow diagrams. So for 1, 2 and 4 option, we do have a smaller and a longer combination of the arrow diagrams which are connected with the central point. But option number 3, they do have equi-size, same size चे दोन arrows आहेत बघा with connected diagrammatically. So option C. So mind well, my dear friend, question could be of any way that they are going to represent, but we need to think about very properly that how we are going to solve it. Again, odd one out, if again the classification of the odd one out, it could be changed now. Odd one outच आहे पण कसं सॉल्व्ह करायचं वेगळं बघा. Class and student, sentence and the words, trees and forest, and minutes or minutes. What could be the odd one out and what is the logic?
B. Option C.
How
B.
anyone?
C.
Can you explain?
Sir,
Class contains students and forest contains tree, not tree contains.
Yes. Correct. So such kind of the logic that you wanted to apply. So option C is the right answer. Students, the class, sentence, the word. So class is having the student, sentence is having the words made up of the words, trees and the forest, which is the odd one out. Forest is made up of the trees, not tree and the forest. So option C is the correct one. Similarly, you can go for shoe leather, iron axe, table wood, shirt and fabric. So I will go to the next one because it has a similar pattern. Now look at over here, as like the number 43 question. Find the odd one out where the functionalities are being given with the sense organs. Eyes and see, ear and hear, skin and touch, and taste and tongue. What could be the odd one out here?
D.
Option D. सेन्स ऑर्गन वी मस्ट नो. आता कधी कधी काय होईल मित्रांनो, सेन्स ऑर्गन याच्यामधला जो नाही ते टाकण्याची शक्यता ना करता येत नाहीये. सो इट कुड बी ऑड वन आउट. व्हॉट इट मे बी, वी नीड टू आयडेंटिफाय हाऊ इट इज ऑड वन आउट. And look at here. Yes, I will cover the last one because of time is running out. Find the next item. So a diagram is having a square and a circular diagram, then again a square and a triangle. So the same logic has been applied for a pattern 2. Square is there, but from the option A or from this pattern of second, triangle has been removed and which has been placed on the top of the square, and a circle from that square has been removed and which has been placed in the second part of the diagram, that is of what, square and its circle. So accordingly, the remaining part, circle and a square, then triangle and particular square. So remaining part which has been observed in the question mark is of what, option C, where a circle and to the top of it a square has to be mentioned. So my dear friends, same kind of or same pattern, or it could be having a different pattern that they are going to ask you. So we need to identify such kind of the things, and we have to solve this examination. Definitely, I'm going to give you all these details to you. Don't worry. Such kind of, see, look at this diagram, arrow diagrams has been given, and they are going to ask you what could be replaced in the question mark. Series has to be given. We have to identify what should come in the next number. So accordingly, we need to prepare. Okay, so these all are going to be shared by us to all of you. And I hope that you have been enjoying the session of VIIT. And I declare that my session is sum up. Now I request our other colleagues that they are going to take the charge of their session. I request Dr. Santosh and Dr. Yuvraj to take the charge of the session of quantitative aptitude and mathematics and statistics. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Shall I proceed? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a moment. Let me share my screen. Okay, now I'm going to cover the, just a moment. Okay. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir. Yes, sir.
okay. In this coming session, myself and Dr. Santosh Parak is going to cover this quantitative aptitude and mathematics and statistics. Okay. So, the first, let me tell you what is the quantitative aptitude. Quantitative aptitude, it is mean that it is the test your ability, your logical skills and analytical skills. So as far as the MBA CET syllabus concerns, there will be the 50 questions on this quantitative aptitude, and each question is for 1 mark. And as Dr. Manisha said that the only limited time and time to complete to attend this entire questions. So within 1 minute you have to attend the single question. So that is the quite challenging to complete the entire questions. But so as far as this quantitative aptitude concerns, or that that point concerns, there is no need to use the entire steps, because this quantitative aptitude, that is totally related to your numerical. Okay, so I think that is not, you don't have that much enough time. Suppose if I'm going to ask you, please, you must know the tables, square root. So that this kind of things are very important for the preparation of CET. But even in these sessions, I will suggest you some tricks. So within fraction of minute, you can find out the correct answer. Okay, so please be with me. So under this quantitative aptitude, I'm going to highlight the time, distance, and speed, and then the ratios and proportions, and the last one is the partnership. Okay, so these points we will discuss in these sessions. Okay, let's see the time, distance, and speed. So these are the main formulas. So here you can see the speed. How can we calculate the speed? The speed is equal to distance upon time. Time is equal to distance upon speed, and distance is equal to speed into time. Okay, so the thing is that, so the once you mug up the one single formula, the speed formula, speed is equal to distance upon time. So that is easy to the mug up the another two formulas. So okay, the speed is equal to distance upon time. So how can we calculate the time? By using this single formula. Just to simplify these equations, the speed, the time is equal to distance upon speed. So the likewise here, distance is equal to speed into time. So as far as this, the time distance concerns, again, you must to know the 1000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So the likewise basic things you must to know that. because what kind of questions you will get in exams, we cannot predict that. Okay, whether they may ask per second or per minute speed, they ask in meter speed. So the likewise questions definitely you will get in exam. So let's start with the first example on this time, distance, and speed. Okay. Okay. The question is that a person crosses a 600-meter long street in 5 minutes. What is his speed in kilometer per hour? So this is very simple question. So you can see over here, these are the 4 options. So for the calculations of this, for the better understanding to you, so let me share the whiteboard so I can explain these questions in proper way. Okay, just a moment, guys. Okay, so this is the whiteboard. So the first, here you can see the question is that a person, okay, just a moment. Is it possible to copy over here or not? Okay. Okay. Okay, here you can see the question is that, what is the question? A person crosses a 600-meter long street in 5 minutes. Okay, what is his speed in kilometer per hour? So here, in the simple way, we can calculate the answer of these questions in very simple. Actually, by using the formula, what is the formula? Here you can see this formula is equal to speed is equal to distance upon time. By using this formula, we can calculate the answer. But instead of that, there is the simple trick to find out the answer, because as I told you, you will not get the answer for the steps. The matter is that the correct options, correct answer. Here you can see the options are, they have given 3.6, 7.2. So the answer is 7.2. But how is it? So let me explain in the simple way how can we calculate this answer. Okay. So here I think you know very well the cross multiplication. Suppose here whatever the informations is given in these questions, I'm trying to point out over here. In 5 minutes, that persons cover 600 meters. Okay, 5 minutes, that persons cover 600 meters. So we have to calculate for how many minutes? 60 minutes. So let's consider x distance. So 60 into 600 divided by 5. Okay, are you getting? Please let me know. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you can see the 3600 divided by 5. Okay. Can you tell me the answer? 36,000 divided by 5. So 7,200. 7,200. So that is in meters. Now we have to calculate in these kilometers. So how is it? So just divided by to this answer 1000 meters. So the answer will be 7.2 kilometer per hour. Here you can see, let's here the 7.2. So what I told you, so there is no need to use the formula to such kind of questions. Without the formula, even we can find out the answer, because as you know very well, you have the time limitations. So within that stipulated time, you have to find the answer. So this is the simple trick to get the answer of such questions. Okay. Suppose if you have any doubt, any query, suppose if you want to have more description, so you can tell me. Okay. Okay. Shall we move to the next questions? Let's see the next questions. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, this is again the very interested questions. Let me read these questions. An aeroplane covers a certain distance at a speed of 240 km per hour in 5 hours. So what you have understood over here? So the particular aeroplane covered the 240 km in 5 hours. to cover the same distance in 1 into 2 by 3 hours, it must travel at a speed of. I hope you are getting the questions. The question is that in this, by these informations, by given these informations, we should calculate in this, within this time, the distance to be covered by this aeroplane. Okay, so again, let me share the whiteboard to find out the answer of this question. In just a moment, because without using the whiteboard, that is quite difficult to explain. Okay, in just a moment, guys. First of all, we have to what are the information is given. Let me get the 5 hours that the particular aeroplane cover the distance around 5 hours that cover 240 kilometers. And what they ask? They ask for 1 into 2 by 3 for what? So the first we have to simplify this. How can we simplify this? 3 ones are 3 and 3 plus 2 5. So this will be like this 5 upon 3. So now which kind of equations we got? The 5 hours for 240 kilometers and what for 5 by 3 hours. And please do not get confused by this. Do not try to calculate in hours. So whatever the kind of information is given, just consider over here. So by cross multiplications, again we can calculate, we can find the value of x. So that would be the answer of this question. Okay, how can we simplify? Again the same things as we discussed in previous question. 5 by 3 into 240 is equal to 5x. Okay, so here 5 by 3 into 240 into 1 by 5 is equal to x. So just try to simplify this equation. This will be cancelled and 240 upon 3. So the answer, the answer. What will the answer of this question? 720 is the answer of these questions. When we calculate these questions in the simple way, so the answer will be the 720. Now let's see the next questions. Just a minute. Okay. If a person walks at 14 km per hour instead of 10 km per hour, he would have walked 20 km more. The actual distance traveled by him is. Actually, that person's the speed is 14 km per hour. Means in 1 hour, that particular person's covered the 14 km instead of 10 km. Actually, standard speed is the 10 km per hour. He had to cover the 10 km per hour, but he increased his speed and he now covered the 14 km per hour. He would have walked 20 km more. The actual distance traveled by him. The answer is 50, but how we can calculate? Even without this, here you can see. How can we? Here we should consider the distance would be the x. X. So the x, you know the formula of that speed, the x upon 10. And one more equation is like that, x plus 20 upon 10. Because whatever the information is given, just I'm trying to put over here, the x upon 10 is equal to x plus 20 upon 14. Actually, in this one more information, here you can see the 14 kilometer per hour. So here we consider the distance is x. And suppose if you want to calculate the speed, so here you can see what I have quoted, x upon 10 is equal to x plus 20 upon 14. Once we will solve these equations, we will get the answer 14x, 10x plus 200. 14x minus 10x is equal to 200. So the answer will be 50. So instead of that, in the simple way, even we can calculate the answer. How is it? Okay, let's go back to this slide. Here you can see what they ask, 14 kilometer per hour, 10 kilometer. Means it is mean that more than this is the regular speed. This is the regular speed. In every 1 hour, that person's cover 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Yes, likewise this, 10 kilometers. But when he increase his speed, here you can see he covered more 4 kilometers distance, more 4 kilometers distance, more 4 kilometers distance. And what they ask? They ask he is right now the 20 kilometers more than regular speed. So here you can see 1, 2, 3. After 1 hour, he covered more than 4. After 1 hour, he covered 8. After 2 hours, he covered the more than, means 12. And again 16 and 20. So the ultimately answer is the 50 kilometers. Okay, so that is again the simple trick to calculate the answer of such tricky questions. So the answer is the 50 kilometers. Okay, now let's see the next part, that is the ratios. Again, many times students are getting confused about these ratios. The ratios means that is the means relations between two variables. Okay, here I have mentioned the simple two meanings of this ratio. The quantitative relationship between two amounts or numerical. The ratio is defined as the comparison between two quantities. Okay, so that with the help of the calculation of ratios, we can find out the relation between two components, two variables, two amounts. Okay, so again, this is quite difficult to calculate the answer, but in the simple way, we can find out the answer of such questions. Okay, before going to discuss the questions, let's see the basic terms of ratios. Here you can see. Let me. Okay, here you can see. So this, just prepare for this. A has to B, C has to D. So actually in these questions, they are not going to ask the simple questions on this point. The quite tricky questions. But thing is that there is the simple way to find out the answer. So here you can see. So please do not get confused by these entire things. Let me tell you what is the meaning of this entire information. Suppose in the questions, if they ask the A has to B, the ratio of A has to B is something and B has to C something. And what they ask? To find out the ratio of A has to B has to C. A has to B has to C. Okay. So here you can see A has to B, here C has to D. Actually, the ones we will discuss the questions, so definitely you can understand very well. Okay, so again there is the limitations. I cannot draw the something whatever I want over here. So that's why again I need to go back that whiteboard. So here you can see which kind of questions they will ask. Please try to understand. A as to B ratio is something 3 as to 2. Okay. And B as to C ratio is 2 as to 1. And what they ask? They ask calculate the ratio of A as to B as to C. So for that purpose, here you can see A as to B ratio is given. Again, B as to C ratio is given. So here what I have mentioned in this slide, here you can see what I have mentioned. A as to B and here B as to C. But for the calculation of this, here intentionally I have given this to C and this to D. So for the easy calculations, what we can do, A into C, AC. So ultimately we will get the amount or value of H. B into C, what we will get, the value of B. And when we multiply B to D, what we will get, the value of C. Hope you are getting what I want to say. A, B, B, C. But here A, B, B, C, here I have given the code in alphabet C and D. So this is very important, just understand these things, so that any kind of questions you will get in exam, so you can easily solve. So again, actually many times what happens, students are thinking this is quite difficult and time consuming, so they are not prepared to solve these questions and they will move to the another one, they skip that. So please, my personal advice is that please do not skip that, just to think about this and understand this. Again, suppose if they will ask more than 3 variables ratio, A as to B, B as to C, C as to D. A as to B, B as to C, C as to D, and find out the A's, B's, C's, D's ratio. So again, here you can see A, B, C, D, E, F. Just whatever the questions we will get, just we have to put up the figures over here in this given format. So you can see, let's try to solve the next questions by using this simple trick. Okay, this is the question. This is very simple questions. Okay, very simple questions. We will try to solve these questions by using this whiteboard. Okay, please wait. Okay, here you can see. आता बघा लक्ष द्या, हा क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला समजला की तुम्हाला अशा टाइपचे क्वेश्चन्स, the n kind of questions like this you can solve. Okay, A as to B, B as to C, and C as to D. So आपल्याला just a moment, we have to calculate the answer. So how can we calculate? Again, as I told you, here you can see the here काय करायचं आपल्याला A into B, B into C करायचं. Just put up the informations in this format. You can see 2 as to 3, again 2 as to 1, again, and 3 as to 5. Okay. Now for the A value, multiply 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 3. इथे येणार आहे तुमचं 12. Simple way to find out the answer. Now 3 into 2, and this whatever the value we will get, 3 into 2, 6, 6 into 3, 18. So again apply for this 3 into 1, 3, 3, 1 into 3, 9. And the last one, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, and this would be 15. Okay, now let's simplify this. In the simple way we can simplify. 4 as to 6 as to 3 LCM. We are trying to calculate the LCM, so the answer would be this. So here you can see the answer is this. So just you should understand this simple way to calculate the answer. Okay, so again the likewise questions I have mentioned in this PPT. After this sessions, the PPT will share with you. So whenever you will get any doubt about this, so you can the content to me. Okay. So the now sessions over to the Santosh sir. Please, Santosh sir, take the charge of session.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. This is Dr. Santosh Parak here, and I'm going to discuss about mathematics and statistics. Please try to understand. Dr. Yuvraj has already talked about quantitative aptitude. In that, he covered time, distance, speed, what will be the ratios, and likewise how you are going to solve the various questions. But I'm going to highlight the basics of statistics. Am I audible you clearly? Are you getting my voice clearly? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now, please try to understand. There will be very basic questions on the mathematics and statistics. Basically, whatever I observed in various question papers, there will be the questions regarding to the measure of central tendency, measure of dispersion, correlation, regression, and the probability. There will be very easy questions. We just want to apply the logic, solve the question, and if wherever we are not getting like in either four of the option, we need to eliminate the option. That is the very simple trick in solving the quantitative objective type of the questions. Okay, so in the measure of central tendency, there will be the questions on mean, median, and mode. In the measure of dispersion, there will be the questions on range, quartile range, variance, standard deviation, and no doubt there will be the few questions regarding to the correlation, regression, and the probability. Right. So without wasting a time, we will directly see what are the various tentative questions we may face on the statistics. Now, question number 1. Find the arithmetic mean of the following data set. Now, the range is been given 6, 1, 5, 8, and 10. Now, we just want to calculate simple arithmetic mean for the given observation. Anybody is aware about the formula? How we can go for the arithmetic mean? It is very simple question.
Sum of
It is like
observation upon
5.
Number of observation.
okay. Number of observation. What we need to do? There is simple calculation to calculate the mean of the any number, like any number series. As we calculate for average, in the same manner, we need to identify the mean. What is the formula? Just add all the observations divided by total number of observation. How many numbers are here?
5.
5 numbers are here. Okay, so how can we identify the answer? 6 plus 1 plus 5 plus 8 plus 10 divided by 5. So sum is equal to 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 5, 12, 12
30.
plus 8, 20, 20 plus 10, 30, 30 divided by 5, it is equal to how much? 30 divided by 5, it is equal to 6. Okay, so the mean of the given data series is the 6. Answer is 3. Now we'll go to the second question. Now most of the student can easily tell, okay sir, arithmetic mean mahiti ahe, average mahiti ahe. Now how can I go for the geometric mean? I need to calculate the geometric mean of these 4 numbers. We need to calculate geometric mean of 1, 3, 9, and 3. How can we identify? Anybody is aware about geometric mean formula? How can we identify? Okay, let us understand the numbers are, I'll just copy it.
Sir.
Okay. Now, we need to calculate the geometric mean of these 4 numbers. Anybody knowing the formula for geometric mean?
Product of that number raised to the 1 upon n.
Yes,
Number of
absolutely true. Absolutely true. Very true. Geometric mean represented by GM is equal to, I'll simply write the formula like x1
Product of the number raised to
multiplied
nth
by
root.
x2 multiplied by x3 up to n observation whole raised to the power 1 upon n. Okay, so our first task is to identify n. How many numbers are here?
4.
There are 4 numbers. So how can we calculate geometric mean? Geometric mean equals to 1 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 1 upon 4. Is it right? Yes or no? It is equal to, now multiplication, 1 into 3, 3 into 9, 27, 27 multiplied by 3, it is 81. 81 raised to the power 1 upon 4. How can we identify 81 raised to the power 1 upon 4? It is very simple. How can we identify? Anybody? 81 raised to the power 1 upon 4. I can write 81 as 3 raised to the power 4 raised to the power 1 upon 4. Now, simply you can use the rule of logarithm. You can use the rule of power here. What is the power of a raised to the power b raised to the power c? It is equal to a raised to the power how much? A raised to the power b whole raised to the power c. It is equal to a raised to the power b multiplied by b into c. Now, can I write 3 raised to the power? It is equal to, can I write 3 raised to the power 4 multiplied by 1 upon 4? Okay, so 4 will get cancelled. It is equal to 3. Clear? So the geometric mean of this data 1393, it is equal to 3. The most important thing that you should aware about this formula, x1 multiplied by x2 multiplied by dash 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 up to xn whole raised to the power 1 upon n. With this way you can identify the mean. Okay, now this is very simple question. The marks obtained by 10 students in science out of 50 are 30, 41, 40, 41, 30, 41, 30, 28, 41, 40. The modal mark is, now as I told you, mean mode median belongs to the measure of central tendency. How can we identify the modal mark? What do you mean by mode? What do you mean by mode? मोड कशाला म्हणतो आपण? दिलेल्या डेटा मधला मोड काय असतो?
मधला ना सर?
No, that is called as the median value. Middlemost observation from the any data series is called as the median value. Mode म्हणजे काय की अशी व्हॅल्यू की
more repeated observation.
yes, it is the maximum number of time which observation is get repeated. That is the mode of our data.
Most repeated value.
Okay, now you tell me, these are the observations 30, 41, 40, 41, 30, 41, 30, 28, 41, 40. कोणतं ऑब्झर्वेशन जास्त रिपीट झालेलं आहे? 41 is the observation repeated how many times?
41.
How many times it is repeated?
4 times.
And that
4
is the
times.
maximum. Therefore, the mode of the given data series is how much?
41.
41. Getting how we calculated the mode value from the given data? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just go to the another question now. Very simple question. Please try to understand. These are the very simple question. Please, you need to get the full marks. You don't have to lose the marks in mean, mode, median, range, correlation, regression, probability. Now, simple question. Calculate the range from the given data series. 7, 47, 8, 42, 47, 95, 42, 96, 2. you need to understand what do you mean by range. Anybody? What is the formula of range?
Maximum minus minimum.
Absolutely true. We can identify the range from any data series. What we need to do? I need to identify what is the maximum value, and I need to subtract the value of minimum observation from that particular data series. Okay, so range.
Option B.
Option
B.
Option B.
Option
92.
second.
Okay, how you calculated?
96 minus 2,
96
sir.
minus 2.
Maximum value 96, minimum value 2,
Minus
96 minus 2, it is equal to 94.
94.
Okay. From first four example, we observed equations are very simple, examples are very simple. Only the thing is that you need to understand the concepts. अरिथमॅटिक मीन माहिती नसेल, रेंज माहिती नसेल किंवा तुम्हाला मोडचा फॉर्म्युला माहिती नसेल तर एक्झाम्पल सॉल्व्ह करता येणार नाही. त्यामुळे बेसिक फॉर्म्युला आपल्याला माहिती असतील ना, आपण आरामात एक्झाम्पल्स ह्याचे सॉल्व्ह करू शकतो. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Okay, now this is something different from like a measure of central tendency and dispersion. This question is from the probability. The number of elements in a sample space when two dice are thrown simultaneously equals to. Now here we need to understand what do you mean by sample space. What is the experiment here?
Two dice are thrown.
Two dice are thrown. आता डाइस म्हणजे काय असतो? डाइस कशाला म्हणतात?
ते सापशिडीतले असतात.
राईट. ते सापशिडी खेळतो बघा आपण, ते सापशिडीला ते 6 स्पेसेस असतात, 1 2 3 4 5 6, त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? डाइस म्हणतो. राईट. ओके, नाउ जस्ट अ सेकंड. Okay, now I'll tell you the simple thing. What do you mean by sample space here?
Number of all the outcomes.
Fantastic. The total number
Answer
of
is
all the
36,
outcomes
sir.
of an experiment is called as the sample space. Okay, now say for example I have thrown a single dice. What will be the number of element in my sample space?
6.
1 2 3 4 5 6.
6. Okay, I'll get either 1 2 3 4 5 or 6. आता क्वेश्चन मध्ये काय विचारलंय आपल्याला?
Two dice are thrown.
When two dice are thrown, कसे थ्रो केले ते? सायमल्टेनियसली, म्हणजे एका बरोबर एक थ्रो केलेला आहे. ओके, सो द नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स इन द सॅम्पल स्पेस इक्वल्स टू काय कॉम्बिनेशन येऊ शकतं?
1 1
1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5
1 2
1 2
1 3
1
up to we can get 1
6 6
6. अजून
6 6.
अजून 2 1
2 1 2
2
3
1
2 2
2 2 up
2
to
6.
2 6
2 6
2 6 and finally 6 1
2
up
6
to
6
1
6 2 up to
6 6
6 6
6 6. ओके, पहिल्या एक्सपेरिमेंट मध्ये किती एलिमेंट होते?
6.
6
Six.
Only
elements.
six.
Okay, in the second experiment, how many number of elements are here?
36
There
36.
are 36 elements. Okay, so what is the answer? Total number of elements in a sample space when two dice are thrown simultaneously equals to
36
36. Getting how we are solving the examples?
yes sir.
Yes sir.
Getting or not? Okay, now next. Simple. The value of probability can be negative.
False.
True or false?
false sir.
Why is it
False.
false?
false
So because probability value is not coming negative value.
Sure.
Yes sir.
Have you been ever heard that probability is equal to -10? Probability -10 असते का कधी? असू शकते का कधी?
नाही.
No.
Okay, just only remember the axioms of probability. Probability always lies between 0 and 1. एकाच्या पुढे पण नसते आणि शून्याच्या आतमध्ये पण कधी येत नाही. जास्तीत जास्त प्रोबॅबिलिटी कोणत्या पण इव्हेंटची किती असू शकते? आयदर 1 किंवा कमीत कमी 0. झिरोच्या आतमध्ये म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह कधीच नसणार आहे. ओके, सो the value of probability always lies between 0 and 1. It cannot be negative. There is no any experiment in this world, in this universe, where I can calculate the value of probability, it is equal to negative. So the answer is True or false?
False.
False.
Answer is
False.
false. Probability value नेहमी 0 आणि 1 मध्ये असते. Clear? Answer is false. Now this is the question that belongs to the Poisson distribution. I'll tell you there are two types of variable: discrete random variable, continuous random variable. So it is like very difficult to tell you both the kind of a concepts within 15-20 minutes. But I'll try my level best to tell answer of this question, and probably we will stop here. If K is the mean of Poisson distribution, then the value of variance is K by 2, K, 2K, none of the above. Now, most of the student is not, I know most of the student will not aware about the, what do you mean by Poisson distribution? Anybody knows Poisson distribution?
No.
No? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, fine. Now, just a second. Poisson distribution, the probability mass function of the Poisson distribution is P of x equal to e raised to the power minus lambda into lambda raised to the power x upon
X.
x factorial.
X
Okay.
factorial.
So what is given? The mean value is equal to mean equal to k. Only this simple thing that we need to understand. For the Poisson probability distribution, always remember mean equals to variance. Mean की value दिलेली आहे k.
Sir, actually echo is there.
K.
Sorry. Yes.
K.
सर एको येते सर ते डॉक्टर युवराज नलावडे त्यांच्याकडून.
Now getting the voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now
Okay. Now do remember, for Poisson probability distribution, mean equal to variance. The value of mean is equal to k. Therefore, the value of variance is always equal to the variance. Value of variance is always will be the same of value of mean. It will be equal to the k. Right? Just a minute. Now, correlation coefficient R lies between minus infinity to plus infinity. True or false?
false.
False.
Why? Why it is false?
Correlation coefficient 0 to 1 असतं.
No, ते पण चुकीचं आहे. Correlation coefficient ची रेंज काय असते? I can identify the correlation coefficient by Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation method.
Correlation.
Probability ची रेंज काय असते?
Probability ची range 0 to 1 असते.
0 to 1 असते. Always remember, correlation coefficient ची range असते -1 to +1. -1 to +1. Correlation coefficient lies between -1 to +1. It never lies between
+1.
It never goes beyond +1 and it never comes below -1. Okay. Therefore, correlation coefficient R lies between -1 to +1. Is it true or false?
+1.
True.
Hey, kashi true? It is
False.
It's a false.
It is false. It never goes beyond 1 and it never comes like
Never
below
minus
-1.
infinity
So,
to infinity.
yes. I mentioned the range -infinity to +infinity. It is the false. Clear?
False.
Now, with this, I just want to thank you everybody for joining this session. I hope you are enjoying this entire workshop. Okay. Now, I'll just hand over this session to Dr. Yuvraj. Dr. Yuvraj want to share some views with you. Dr. Yuvraj.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible.
Okay. Actually, due to this time constraint, I cannot complete the entire session. So sorry for that inconvenience. But let me tell you the one more things that is about there is one question. Just I want to make that one more addition in the same question. The question is that this. So as I told you, this is very simple trick to solve these questions. Here you can see that an aeroplane covers a certain distance at a speed of 240. Present. Just a moment. Please, just a moment. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here you can see an aeroplane covers a certain distance at a speed of 240 km per hour in 5 hours. So here we have to calculate the first entire distance. So how can we calculate the 240 into 5? So there will be the 1200 kilometers. So in 5 hours that the aeroplane covered the 1200 kilometer. To cover the same distance in 1 into 2 by 3 hours, it must travel at the same speed. That the question's answer, how can we calculate the answer of this question in simple way? Just, I think this is very important simple trick to calculate the answer. The question in that questions, what they have given, please, 1200 kilometers in 5 hours. So here we can calculate the per hour speed. How is it? Very simple. Once we divided by this by 5, so the almost we will get 240. So whatever the information is given in this PPT, here you can see the 240. So that is the way to calculate the entire distance. And what they have now asked, the distance will be same, but that should be covered in 5 by 3. Actually, in this questions, what they have given 1 into 2 by 3. So how can we simplify this? 3 ones are 3, 3 plus 2, 5. So here we have to consider the 5 upon 3. So the ones we will divide this, the 1200, please wait, 5 upon 3. So how can we calculate this question, answer of this question? 3 by 5. So the definitely here will be the answer of 720. So that is the correct answer. Actually, so the mistake is that we have to read the questions carefully. What here we miss, the how the distance with the how many number how many distance that the aeroplane covered in 5 hours. So that is the 1200. So without using any single formula, here we can calculate in the simple way the answer of such questions. Again, the ones you will go through this PPT, again there are the certain questions on this partnership, but due to this time constraint, that is not possible to me. The request to especially MBA students, the ones you will go through this PPT, and whenever you will get any doubt, so definitely I am always here to solve your doubt. Okay, Sagar sir. Hello, Sagar sir.
Yes, sir.
Due to time constraint, I am not able to complete this. Continue. Otherwise, we have to stop over here.
Yes, sir. We will provide this material on their group.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Just a moment.
Hello, Joshi sir. Hello, Joshi sir, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Sir,
Am I audible?
we can proceed. Yes, sir. You're audible. Perfectly audible.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
This,
good morning,
just a
one
minute,
and
sir.
all. Yes.
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah.
This is the session, third session, which is going to be lead by Dr. Joshi sir and Mr. Sagar sir. The topic is English comprehension, verbal ability, and reading comprehension. I request Dr. Joshi sir to take the charge of the session. Joshi sir, please.
Thank you, Ajit sir.
Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. And this is a session dedicated to your English, your verbal ability, your ability to comprehend, and all those things. Now, why you should have such abilities? Every single person who wants to pursue his career in management, for that matter any business world, or for that matter any career, must have verbal abilities. याचा अर्थ काय मराठीमध्ये? तर शब्द आणि शब्दांची रचना आणि त्या शब्दांची मांडणी करून आपलं म्हणणं मांडता येण्याची असलेली क्षमता, कौशल्य, याला आपण म्हणतो verbal ability. So verbal ability is nothing but the ability of a person टू बी एबल टू एक्सप्रेस हिमसेल्फ और हरसेल्फ. आपल्याला स्वतःला जर व्यक्त करायचं असेल तर ते व्यक्त करण्याकरता आपल्याला शब्दांची मदत घ्यावी लागते. शब्दांच्या बरोबरीने आणखीनही काही गोष्ट आहे जी आता ह्या भागामध्ये मी शिकवणार नाही आहे किंवा सांगणार नाही आहे. ती दुसरी ॲबिलिटी आहे की बॉडी लँग्वेज ओळखणं किंवा बॉडी लँग्वेज बद्दल. बॉडी लँग्वेज आता आपण बोलत नाही आहोत. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हर्बल ॲबिलिटीज, आणि व्हर्बल ॲबिलिटीज हॅज so many dimensions that we need to actually add. Verbal abilities had got something to do with vocabulary. Verbal abilities have something to do with ability to actually able to express the words and thoughts, the sequence it should be. Then ability of writing, ability of drafting, ability of writing mails, reading reports, so on and so forth. If you want to have those abilities in you, in fact, that is what is expected, that you want to pursue career in management, तुम्हाला MBA करायचं आहे, तर हे गृहीत धरलेलं आहे की तुमच्याकडे थोड्याफार प्रमाणामध्ये तरी ह्या कौशल्यामध्ये काही ना काहीतरी तुमच्यामध्ये आहे गुण. लक्षात घ्या, हे गुण आपल्याला नंतर स्वतःमध्ये विकसित करायचे आहेत. स्वतःला कौशल्य आणखीन त्याच्या संबंधातली आणखीन शार्प करायचे आहेत. Then you will be able to express yourself the way the management and the people in business world want you to do. Business world wants you to express yourself. फार कशाला आपल्या रोजच्या आयुष्यामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्हाला जर बोलता येत नसेल, तुम्हाला तुमचे विचार व्यक्त करता येत नसतील, मांडता येत नसतील, तर तुम्ही कितीही क्वालिफाईड असा, तुम्हाला कितीही क्वालिफिकेशन, कितीही डिग्री तुमच्याकडे असू दे, तुम्हाला योग्य पद्धतीचं करिअर ऑप्शन मिळणार नाही. तुम्हाला तुमचा करिअर चांगल्या पद्धतीने जर उभारायचं असेल, आपल्या स्वतःला एक सिद्ध करायचं असेल कोणीतरी म्हणून, तर त्याच्याकरता तुमच्यामध्ये सगळ्यात महत्वाची असलेली जी काही गरज आहे ती आहे टू बी एबल टू एक्सप्रेस युअर सेल्फ, टू बी एबल टू पुट द वर्ड्स इन प्रॉपर पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह, टू बी एबल टू राईट प्रॉपरली, टू बी एबल टू स्पीक प्रॉपरली, टू बी एबल टू लिसन ऑल्सो. आता ह्या सगळ्या रीड, राईट, स्पीक, लिसन या सगळ्या ॲबिलिटीज तुम्हाला जर असतील, आणायच्या असतील तुमच्यामध्ये, तर आता तुम्ही कोर्स जो करायला घेतलाय त्याच्यामध्ये त्या गोष्टी येतीलच. पण त्यातल्या तुमच्याकडे किती गोष्टी आहेत हे एक चाचपणी करून घेण्याकरता, टेस्ट करण्याकरता, त्या तुमच्या सेक्शनमध्ये, जो सेक्शन 50 मार्काचा आहे, त्याच्यावर तुम्हाला उत्तरं द्यायची आहेत. एकदा तुम्हाला उत्तरं त्याची देता आली तर तुमच्यामुळे किती प्रमाणामध्ये ही व्हर्बल ॲबिलिटी आहे याची चाचणी होऊन जाईल. तुम्हाला जर वाटत असेल की या चाचणीमध्ये आपल्याला खूप चांगले मार्क मिळायला हवेत, इनफॅक्ट ह्याच्याकरता खूप चांगले मार्क मिळवणं ही काय फार मोठी दुर्मिळ किंवा अवघड गोष्ट नाही आहे. लक्षात घ्या, तुमच्यामध्ये प्रत्येकामध्ये ही ॲबिलिटी असतेच. प्रश्न एवढाच आहे की त्याचा इंग्लिशशी काही संबंध आलाय का. संबंध कशाशी, तर तुमचं इंग्रजी किती चांगलं आहे, तुम्हाला ग्रामर येतं का, तुम्हाला शब्द समोरासमोर मांडता येतात का, त्याची आपल्याला वाक्यरचना करता येते का, वाक्यरचनेमध्ये अर्थ असेल का, वाक्यरचनेमध्ये लॉजिक असेल का, वाक्यरचनेमध्ये आपल्याला जे मांडायचे ते विचार, आपल्या ज्याला आपण श्रोता आहे, आपला जो कोण आपले विचार ऐकतो आहे किंवा ऐकत आहेत, यांच्याकरता तुम्ही मांडलेले विचार त्यांना पोचतायत का, तुम्हाला मांडायच्या त्या स्वरूपामध्ये. यात सगळ्याचं उत्तर जर हो असेल, पॉझिटिव्ह असेल, तर तुमचे विचार त्यांच्यापर्यंत पोचतायत. निगेटिव्ह असेल तर आपल्यामध्ये काही बदल आपल्यामध्ये करून घेणं आवश्यक आहे, असा त्याचा अर्थ होतो. आता मी तुमच्या पुढे ऍक्च्युली पॉवर पॉईंट प्रेझेंटेशन मांडणार होतो, पण पॉवर पॉईंट प्रेझेंटेशन न मांडता आय विल गिव्ह point wise examples for achieving that particular target. I can tell you the kind of syllabus that has been given by CET, MHCET. त्या सिलेबस मधल्या प्रत्येक पॉइंट बद्दल मी इथून पुढच्या 10 मिनिटांमध्ये 15 मिनिटांमध्ये बोलणार आहे. महत्व कशाला आहे की त्याच्याकरता त्यांनी एक प्रकारचं जे काही अभ्यासक्रम तयार केलेला आहे, त्या अभ्यासक्रमानुसार आपल्याला एक गोष्टी आपण आपल्यामध्ये कशा अंगी करू शकतो, एक गोष्टी आपल्यामध्ये कशा पद्धतीने आपल्याला विकसित करता येतील, विकसित करण्याकरता काय करायला लागेल, that is what I am going to focus upon. So the first and foremost I am going to talk about, there is something called antonyms. हा शब्द ऐकला असेल तुम्ही पहिल्यांदा, नसेल ऐकला तर त्याचा अर्थ समजून घ्या, मग कळेल. आणि काही गोष्टी मी तुम्हाला गंमत म्हणून आणि तुमच्या कौशल्यामध्ये आणखीन भर पाडावं म्हणून सांगणार आहे. तुम्हाला स्टे ट्यून्ड. तुम्हाला हे जे काय हे पूर्ण जर तुम्ही सेशन्स ऐकलं त्या सेशन मधनं तुम्हाला काही गोष्टी त्याच्यामध्ये तुमच्यामध्ये कौशल्यात ते कौशल्य वाढवायला, कौशल्य वृद्धी करता उपयोग पडणार आहे. तर अँटोनिम्सचा अर्थ विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द. अँटोनिम्सचा अर्थ विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द. तुम्हाला असं विचारलं जातील की 5-10 किंवा 5 एक असे शब्द असतील, त्यांना तुम्हाला त्याचे विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द विचारले जातील, त्यांना प्रत्येकाला 1-1 मार्क असेल. तुम्हाला जर विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द लिहिता आला किंवा सांगता आला किंवा त्याचा ऑप्शन बरोबर देता आला, सी इट इज मल्टिपल चॉईस क्वेश्चन, so in that case you will get multiple choice and you to use the correct choice and give the answer. For that you need to know what is the antonym of a particular word. Antonym म्हणजे विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द. उदाहरण देणार आहे. अँटोनिम मधलं उदाहरण क्रमांक 1. What do you mean by, what is the difference between boy and girl? Is it understood? बॉय आणि गर्ल मध्ये फरक आहे की नाही? बॉयच्या विरुद्धार्थी शब्द काय असू शकतो? गर्ल. गुडच्या विरुद्धार्थी काय शब्द असू शकतो? बॅड. नाईटच्या विरुद्ध काय शब्द असू शकतो? डे. करेक्टच्या विरुद्ध काय असू शकतो शब्द? रॉंग. हे तुम्हाला येत नाही का? येत आहे, पण ते तुम्हाला तिथं असं शब्द समोर दिसल्यानंतर तुम्हाला गांगरून जायला नको. तुम्हाला काय सांगा विचारलंय त्यांनी? अँटोनिम सांगा. अँटोनिम म्हणजे काय? विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द. अँटो, हा अँटोतला अँटी शब्द आहे ना, ANT, ते विरुद्ध या अर्थाने ANT आलेला आहे. ANT म्हणजे विरुद्ध अर्थी. अँटी किंवा अँटोनिम. निम म्हणजे नाव, विरुद्ध नाव किंवा विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द. So antonym. So antonym is nothing but the word that is exactly opposite. You can say opposite word. Opposite word. दिलेला शब्द त्याच्यावर. आता टॉल, टॉलच्या विरुद्ध शॉर्ट. टॉलच्या विरुद्ध शॉर्ट. राईटच्या विरुद्ध रॉंग किंवा लेफ्ट. आता तुम्हाला कन्फ्यूज करायकरता हे तिन्ही ऑप्शन देतील. तुम्हाला यातले कुठलाही शब्द दिला तरी तुम्हाला उत्तर बरोबर देता आलं पाहिजे. तुम्ही काय करता आहात? आत्ता तुम्ही हे शिकत आहात की आपल्या समोर आलेल्या प्रश्नामध्ये जर तुम्हाला विचारलेले विरुद्ध अर्थी शब्द सांगा, तुम्हाला सांगता यायला पाहिजे की नको? यायला पाहिजे. फार काय अवघड गोष्ट आहे का? नाही. हे मार्क तुमच्या हातात आहेत की नाही? आहेत. लक्षात घ्या, 50 पैकी जेवढे मार्क मिळतील तेवढा तुमचा स्कोर वर जाणार आहे. आणि हे अँटोनिम हे त्याच्याकरता अत्यंत युजफुल असं मार्क मिळवण्याचं एक तंत्र आहे. आता आणखीन एक पुढची गोष्ट तुमच्या, आता हे तुम्ही शाळेमध्ये असताना 10वी पर्यंत हे तर कायम लिलया करत आलेला आहात. त्याला म्हणतात कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन ऑफ पॅसेजेस. मला वाटतं 10वी पर्यंत तुम्हाला सीन आणि अनसीन पॅसेजेस दिले गेले होते आणि त्या सीन आणि अनसीन पॅसेज मध्ये जे काही वर्ड असतील, जे काही सेंटेन्स असतील ती नीट वाचायची आणि खालील प्रश्नांची उत्तरं द्या. म्हणजे त्याचे आणखीन 5 प्रश्न विचारले, त्याची उत्तरं द्यायची. परत एकदा ते मल्टिपल चॉईस क्वेश्चन असणार आहेत. कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन मध्ये व्हॉट इज मेंट बाय कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन? कॉम्प्रिहेन्शन म्हणजे अंडरस्टँडिंग. यू शुड बी एबल टू अंडरस्टँड. अंडरस्टँड म्हणजे समजून घेणे. त्याकरता काय करायला पाहिजे मित्रांनो? त्याकरता जो तुम्हाला पॅराग्राफ दिलेला आहे तो वेगाने तुम्हाला वाचता आला पाहिजे. त्याच्यातले महत्वाचे शब्द तुमच्या नजरेने तुम्हाला टिपता आले पाहिजे. याला म्हणतात रँडमायझेशन. समोर तुम्हाला पॅराग्राफ दिला, पॅराग्राफमध्ये सगळे शब्द वाचत बसाल, कदाचित तो वेळ तुम्हाला पुरणार नाही तुमच्या उत्तराकरता दिलेला. मग काय करायचं? त्यातले महत्वाचे शब्द तुमच्या नजरेने तुम्हाला टिपता आले पाहिजेत. ही जर तुम्हाला स्किल डेव्हलप करता आली, लक्षात घ्या, तुम्हाला ज्यावेळेला मॅनेजर व्हायचं उद्या एखाद्या कंपनीमध्ये, तुमच्या समोर एखादा नोट आणली गेली किंवा एक रिपोर्ट आणला गेला, तो रिपोर्ट एका नजरेने तुम्हाला वाचता आला पाहिजे. ही काही फार अवघड गोष्ट नाही आहे, पण ते कौशल्य आहे मित्रांनो. ते कौशल्य तुमच्यामध्ये तुम्ही धारण करायला पाहिजे. ते कौशल्य नसेल, आय एम सॉरी, तुम्हाला मॅनेजर बनण्याकरता खूप कष्ट घ्यावे लागतील. अदरवाईज आत्ताच तुमच्यामध्ये ते असले पाहिजे. ते काय गुण आहेत? तर तुम्हाला रॅन्डमली वाचता आलं पाहिजे. एक नजरेमध्ये तुम्हाला महत्वाचे शब्द कोणते ते तुम्हाला तुमच्या नजरेने टिपले पाहिजेत. वेन यू डू दॅट यू विल बी एबल टू आन्सर द क्वेश्चन्स दॅट आर पुट फॉर दॅट पर्टिक्युलर पॅसेज. सो जर तुम्हाला कळलं एकदा ती पॅसेजमध्ये काय आहे. आता पॅसेज, एखादा पॅसेज असेल अब्दुल कलामांच्या बद्दल असेल, डॉक्टर APJ अब्दुल कलाम. एखादा पॅसेज महात्मा गांधींबद्दल असेल, एखादा पॅसेज शिवाजी महाराजांबद्दल असेल, एखादा पॅसेज भारतात आता पॅन्डेमिक सिच्युएशन चालू आहे त्याच्याबद्दल असू शकेल. तुम्हाला ते एक सेन्स असला पाहिजे मित्रांनो, की आपल्याला हे जे पॅराग्राफ येतील कशा संदर्भात असतील साधारणपणे तुम्हाला गेस करता आलं पाहिजे. ह्याला म्हणतात इंटेलिजंट गेसिंग. तुम्हाला साधारणपणे एक साधारण अक्कल असली पाहिजे, तेवढी एक वेगळं सामान्य ज्ञान तुमच्याकडे असलं पाहिजे. तुम्हाला जे काही पॅसेज आलेले आहेत ते सीन अनसीन कुठलेही असू दे, पॅसेज वाचल्यानंतर पहिल्या काही शब्दांमध्ये तुम्हाला त्याची जाणीव झाली पाहिजे की हा पॅसेज कोणत्या विषयाबद्दल आहे, कोणत्या घटनेबद्दल आहे, कोणत्या यशस्वी घडलेल्या गोष्टीबद्दल आहे, कोणत्या एखाद्या मोठ्या डिझास्टर किंवा एखाद्या मोठ्या फेल्युअर बद्दल आहे. सो these paragraphs, we call it passages. Those passages could be seen and unseen, and those passages could be for any subject, any topic. It could be a success story, it could be a failure story, it could be just a news, it could be a economic aspect commentary, it could be a lecture, or it could be even a small dialogue between the parties. तुम्हाला ते वाचल्यानंतरच कळलं पाहिजे की हे काय प्रकारचं पॅसेज माझ्या डोळ्यापुढे आलंय, आणि त्याच्यावर जर तुम्ही नीट विचार केला तर तुम्हाला सहज लक्षात येईल की या पॅसेजमध्ये एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम त्यांचे काय विचार मांडतायत, किंवा ह्या पॅसेजमध्ये कुठेतरी छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांबद्दल काहीतरी लिहिलं गेलंय, वाचलं गेलंय, बोललं गेलंय. लक्षात आलं? तर ह्याकरता तो पॅसेज नीट वाचायचा, त्या पॅसेज मधलं लॉजिक समजून घ्यायचं. लॉजिक म्हणजे यातला मूळ असा गाभा त्या पॅसेजचा काय आहे हे समजून घेणं. यू विल नीड टू फोकस ऑन व्हॉट इज एक्झॅक्टली टोल्ड, व्हॉट इज द मेसेज दिस पर्टिक्युलर पॅसेज वॉन्ट्स टू कन्व्हे, व्हॉट इज द इम्पॉर्टंट अंडरलाईन sentence which this passage is trying to put forth, what thought this particular passage is wanting to put forth. When you do that, you will be able to very easily claim marks which you are wanting to claim after reading those passages. So what is the strategy for everything? I am giving you the strategy. तुम्हाला विरुद्धार्थी शब्दाकरता स्ट्रॅटेजी सांगितली. तुम्हाला जेवढे म्हणून विरुद्धार्थी शब्द माहिती आहेत ते एकदा त्याची उजळणी करा पेपरच्या अगोदर. ते विरुद्धार्थीपैकी 5 शब्द तुम्हाला येतील, ते 5 मार्क तुमचे आहेत. पॅसेज आहे तो पॅसेज वाचायचा आहे, रॅन्डमली कसा वाचायचं ते सांगितलं, ती स्ट्रॅटेजी आहे. तुम्हाला रॅन्डमली तो वाचता आला पाहिजे, महत्वाच्या शब्दांकडे तुमचं नजर तिथं खेळली पाहिजे, आणि त्या बेसिसवर तुम्हाला 1 मिनिटामध्ये 2 मिनिटामध्ये तो पॅसेज कशाबद्दल आहे. मग अशी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे ती एक सक्सेस स्टोरी आहे का, फेल्युअर स्टोरी आहे का, एखादी घटना आहे, एखादा संवाद आहे, एखादा डायलॉग आहे. वाचल्यानंतर तुम्हाला लक्षात आलं पाहिजे, आणि मग त्यातलं लॉजिक कळल्यानंतर, त्याचं मर्म कळल्यानंतर त्याची उत्तर देणं तुम्हाला सोपं होईल. पुढचा भाग आहे हा, एक खूप वेळा तुम्हाला शाळेमध्ये विचारला गेलेला प्रश्न होता. गाळलेल्या जागा भरा, फिल इन द ब्लँक्स. तर शाळेत सुद्धा फिल इन द ब्लँक्स अतिशय इझिली करत होतो आपण. आता ह्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्हाला पर्याय दिलेले असतात, त्या पर्यायातला योग्य पर्याय उचलून त्या गाळलेल्या जागेमध्ये भरायचा आहे. मला आठवतंय माझ्या शाळेच्या दिवसांमध्ये केव्हा तरी निबंध तशा पद्धतीने तयार करण्याची एक आमच्याकडे त्यावेळेला मला वाटतं एक प्रयोग केला गेला होता. संपूर्ण निबंध लिहिलेला आहे आणि गाळलेल्या जागा भरल्यानंतर निबंध तयार होतो. अशा पद्धतीचा सुद्धा एक प्रयोग आम्ही शाळेमध्ये असताना झालेला आहे. पण आता तुम्हाला हे अशा प्रकारचे पॅसेज दिल्यानंतर किंवा अशा प्रकारच्या गाळलेल्या जागा भरा म्हणून प्रश्न दिल्यानंतर त्या प्रश्नांमधले तुम्हाला शब्द दिसल्यानंतर त्या शब्दांच्या संबंधितलं, त्या शब्द समूहाच्या संबंधितला जो शब्द असेल, योग्य शब्द असेल, विरुद्धार्थी असेल किंवा समानार्थी असेल किंवा एखादं त्याच्यामध्ये नाऊन असेल, यू शुड बी एबल टू नो द कोर मिनिंग ऑफ दॅट सेंटेन्स, सो दॅट म्हणजे तुम्हाला जर गाळलेली जागा भरायची असेल तर जी जागा गाळलेली सोडली ती सोडून उरलेली जागा जर उरलेलं वाक्य वाचलं तर तुमच्या लक्षात येतं ह्याच्यात काय मिनिंग आहे या वाक्याचं, आणि त्या मिनिंगला अनुसरून तुम्हाला ती गाळलेली जागा भरता आली पाहिजे. फार महत्वाची गोष्ट जर आता सांगणार आहे, त्याच्याकरता मला वाटतं वेगळं सेशन मला तुमचं घ्यायला लागेल. आत्ताच्या घटकेला मी अत्यंत वेगाने ग्रामर बद्दल बोलणार आहे. ग्रामर म्हणजे व्याकरण. तुमचं इंग्रजीचं व्याकरण चांगलं असेल तर व्याकरणासंबंधितले जे प्रश्न त्या तुमच्या व्हर्बल ॲबिलिटीच्या टेस्टमध्ये विचारले जातील 50 पैकी, तर ते तुम्हाला जास्तीत जास्त वेगाने सोडवता येतील. मी तुम्हाला काही थंब रूल सांगणार आहे, अतिशय सोपे, लक्षात ठेवायला सोपे. आत्ता सांगताना जरा वेगाने सांगत असलो तरी तुम्हाला जर वाटत असेल तर माझ्याशी नंतर संपर्क करू शकता. मी तुम्हाला गायडन्स देईन कशा पद्धतीने टेन्सेस लक्षात ठेवायचे. एकंदर तीन काळामध्ये कुठली रचना वाक्यरचना असते? मुख्य म्हणजे तीन काळ कोणते आहेत? वर्तमान काळ, भूतकाळ आणि भविष्यकाळ. इंग्रजीमध्ये त्याला म्हणतात प्रेझेंट टेन्स, पास्ट टेन्स अँड फ्युचर टेन्स. तर पास्ट टेन्स मध्ये जी वाक्य असतात ती वॉज वेअरच्या शब्दांच्या सहाय्याने किंवा हॅडच्या पद्धतीने किंवा क्रियापदाची भूतकाळी रूप वापरून केली जातात. वर्तमानकाळी रचना असते त्याच्यामुळे क्रियापदाचं मूळ रूप असतं किंवा जर ते एकवचनी असेल तर एस किंवा एस लावून साधा वर्तमान काळ तयार होतो. अपूर्ण वर्तमान काळामध्ये आयएनजी येतं, अपूर्ण भूतकाळामध्ये, अपूर्ण भविष्यकाळामध्ये पण आयएनजी येतं. आणि त्याच्या अलीकडे एम इज आर वर्तमान काळ असेल तर, भूतकाळ असेल तर, वॉज वेअर भविष्यकाळ असेल तर, विल बी शॅल बी वापरलं जातं. अशा पद्धतीने कंटिन्युअस टेन्स बघा, सिंपल टेन्स आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सिंपल प्रेझेंट मध्ये आपण म्हणतो आय वर्क, वी वर्क. भूतकाळामध्ये आय वर्कड आणि भविष्यकाळामध्ये आय विल वर्क. साधा भूतकाळ, साधा वर्तमान काळ, साधा भविष्यकाळ झाला. तीच गोष्ट अपूर्ण वर्तमान काळाची, अपूर्ण म्हणजे क्रिया पूर्ण झालेली नाही. आय एम गोईंग म्हणजे माझी क्रिया जाण्याची पूर्ण झालेली नाही. आय नंतर ऍम आला, वर्तमान काळ असेल तर ऍम इज आर येईल. भूतकाळामध्ये येईल वॉज आणि वेअर, वॉज आणि वेअर नंतर क्रियापदाला आयएनजी लावला जाईल. आय वॉज ट्रॅव्हलिंग, आयएनजी लावलाय. ट्रॅव्हल म्हणजे प्रवास करणे, आयएनजी म्हणजे प्रवास करत आहे, प्रवासाची क्रिया पूर्ण झाली नाही. वॉज ट्रॅव्हलिंग म्हणजे प्रवास करत होतो. भविष्यकाळामध्ये आय शॅल बी गोईंग जात असेल, आय विल बी गोईंग चालेल. परत विल बी, शॅल बी आणि त्याच्यानंतर क्रियापदाला आयएनजी लावलेला आहे. अशा पद्धतीने अपूर्ण वर्तमान काळ, अपूर्ण भूतकाळ, अपूर्ण भविष्यकाळ झाले. पूर्ण वर्तमान काळ, पूर्ण वर्तमान काळाला करतो आपण आय हॅव वर्कड, हॅव वर्क. सगळीकडे हॅव आलंय, फक्त ही इटला हॅज येतं. आणि क्रियापदाचं तिसरं रूप वापरलं की कुठल्याही काळाचा पूर्ण काळ होतो. पूर्ण भूतकाळाला हॅड वर्क, पूर्ण भविष्यकाळाला पूर्ण भविष्यकाळाला शॅल हॅव वर्क और विल हॅव वर्क. अशा पद्धतीने तुमचा पूर्ण वर्तमान काळ, पूर्ण भूतकाळ, पूर्ण भविष्यकाळ झाला. चालू पूर्ण तुम्ही आता शिकायची गरज नाही याच्यामध्ये. आता या घटकेला हे बेत्रिक 6, तुम्हाला एकंदर 6 काळ कळले. इनफॅक्ट 9 काळ कळले. 9 काळ कळले, 3 त्रिक 9. तर तुम्हाला त्याच्याप्रमाणे वाक्यरचना बघून त्याप्रमाणे त्या ग्रामरच्या क्वेश्चनला तोंड देता येईल. त्याच्यानंतर सिक्वेन्स वाक्याचा बघणं गरजेचं आहे. तो कुठलंही क्रियापद तुम्ही वाक्यरचना ज्यावेळेला इंग्रजीमध्ये करता, व्याकरण त्याच्यामध्ये सांगितलं गेलेलं आहे की कुठल्याही इंग्रजी वाक्याची सुरुवात ही सब्जेक्टने होतीये. सब्जेक्ट म्हणजे काय? कर्ता. एकंदर 8 कर्ते आहेत, आय, वी, यू, ही, शी, इट आणि दे. परत एकदा सांगतो, 8 कर्ते आहेत, आय, वी, यू, ही, शी, इट आणि दे. आता ह्यानीच वाक्याची सुरुवात होईल. यापैकी कुठल्या एका शब्दाने वाक्याची सुरुवात होईल. त्यानंतर क्रियापद लागेल. आता मगाशी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे क्रियापद ज्या स्वरूपात असेल तसं वर्तमान काळ असेल आणि साधा वर्तमान काळ असेल तर आय वर्क. अपूर्ण वर्तमान काळ असेल आय एम वर्किंग येईल. म्हणजे अधिक करता, त्याच्यानंतर क्रियापद आणि मग सगळ्यात शेवटी कर्म म्हणजे जे काही ऍडिशनल गोष्टी त्या वाक्यामध्ये असतात. आय एम रिडिंग न्यूजपेपर. न्यूजपेपर हे कर्म झालं. आय एम रिडिंग हे आय म्हणजे करता, एम रिडिंग हे क्रियापदाचं योग्य पद्धतीने केलेलं प्रिपेरेशन. अशा पद्धतीने तुम्ही वाक्यरचना करायला शिकलात तर कन्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफ सेंटेन्स तुम्हाला येईल. कन्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफ सेंटेन्स आली तर त्या संबंधितली कुठलेही प्रश्न जर तुम्हाला आले तर ते मला सोडता येईल. मी ग्रामर अत्यंत त्रोटक स्वरूपामध्ये तुमच्या पुढे मांडलं. डिटेलमध्ये मांडायचं असेल तर मी एक व्हिडिओ तयार करेन स्वतंत्रपणे तुमच्याकरता. तो व्हिडिओ तुम्हाला आज उद्यामध्ये माझ्या युट्यूब चॅनलवर तुम्हाला दिसेल. व्होकॅब्युलरी पुढचा महत्वाचा मुद्दा आहे. तुमच्याकडे शब्द भांडार किती? व्होकॅब्युलरी म्हणजे शब्द भांडार. तुमच्याकडे शब्द भांडार किती ह्याच्यावर तुमचं इंग्रजी किती चांगलं आहे वाईट आहे ते कळतं. तर शब्द भांडार जेवढं चांगलं असेल तर तेवढं तुम्हाला या सेक्शन मध्ये तुम्हाला जास्तीत जास्त मार्क मिळवण्याची मुभा किंवा जास्तीत जास्त मार्क मिळवण्याची शक्यता निर्माण होईल. व्हॉट यू आर डुईंग देअर? आय नाव तुम्हाला सांगितलं त्याप्रमाणे जर तुम्हाला व्होकॅब्युलरी बिल्ड करायची असेल तर मी एक ट्रिक सांगणार आहे आज जाता जाता. व्होकॅब्युलरी बिल्ड करण्याची ट्रिक आहे. तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायचे की जे शब्द तुमच्या डोळ्यापुढे येतात त्याचे कोणी भावंड तुम्हाला माहिती आहेत का? याचा थोडासा अभ्यास करायचा प्रयत्न करायचा. भावंड माहिती आहेत का? उदाहरणार्थ असा शब्द आहे की ब्रदर. हा शब्द ऐकलाय तुम्ही? ब्रदर म्हणजे भाऊ. मराठीमध्ये त्याला भ्राता म्हणतात, संस्कृतमध्ये भ्राता आणि ब्रदर बघा सारखे साऊंड असलेले वर्ड आहेत की नाही. भ्राता, ब्रदर, फादर, पिता. बघा काही काही हे ब्रदर हे कसे आहेत, हे सगळे एकमेकांची भावंड असलेले शब्द आहेत. आता आपण जर म्हटलं हॅपी, हॅपीली, हॅपियर, हे सगळे शब्द एकमेकांच्या बरोबरीचे आहेत. ते शब्द तुम्हाला कळले तर त्याचा अर्थ पण कळतो. त्यामुळे भावंड शोधा. कसं आहे, एखादा कोणीतरी माहिती नसलेला माणूस भेटला तर आमच्या पुण्यातल्या लोकांना एक सवय आहे, मी पुणेरी आहे, पुण्यातल्या लोकांना सवय, समजा तुमचं आडनाव विचारलं कोणीतरी, समजा तुमचं आडनाव आहे समजा असं धरूया मोरे, तर मोरे म्हणल्यानंतर मी गप्प बसायचं की नाही. तर मला इथं मोरे म्हणल्यानंतर पुण्यातल्या माणसाला कोणते मोरे माहिती आहेत, तर पिंपरी चिंचवडमध्ये रामकृष्ण मोरे, डॉक्टर रामकृष्ण मोरे नावाचे होते. लगेच प्रश्न विचारायचे, हे रामकृष्ण मोरे तुमचे तुमच्या भाऊबंधांपैकी आहेत का, हे विचारायची सवय आहे. तशी सवय तुम्ही स्वतःला शब्दांकडे बघितल्यानंतर लावून घ्या. ह्याचा भावंड मला माहिती आहे का, आपोआपच तुम्हाला त्या शब्दाचा अर्थ कळायला सुरुवात होईल आणि व्होकॅब्युलरी तुमची अतिशय रिच व्हायला सुरुवात होईल. महत्व कशाला द्यायचंय, आपलं शब्द भांडार वाढवायला, माहिती असलेले शब्द आपल्याला त्याचा अर्थ जाणून घ्यायला. मग त्याच्या जवळपासचं जर तुम्हाला मिनिंग कळलं तर तुम्हाला त्याचा अर्थ गेस करता येतो. आता असंच ते मिक्स आणि मॅच सारखे काही जंबल केलेले शब्द असतात, त्याच्यातनं तुम्हाला करेक्ट शब्द करेक्ट ऑर्डरमध्ये मांडायची अशा पद्धतीची एखादा प्रश्न असू शकतो. त्याला म्हणतात पॅराजंबल. पॅराग्राफ दिलेला आहे पण वर खाली त्यांनी त्याची वाक्य केलेले आहेत, ती वाक्य सिक्वेन्समध्ये करायचे. त्याच्याकरता आपल्याला लॉजिकच वापरावं लागेल. त्याच्याकरता आपल्याला असं बघावं लागेल की आपल्याला हे शब्द माहिती आहेत का, त्या शब्दांची मला व्याप्ती माहिती आहे का, त्या शब्दांकडनं मला काही कळतंय का, त्याचे भावंड मला माहिती आहेत का, मग मला त्यातनं अर्थ काढता येईल आणि अर्थ काढल्यानंतर मला त्याचं उत्तर बरोबर सुचेल. मगाशी जे आपण सांगितलं अँटोनिम्स, तसा आणखीन एक प्रश्न संच त्याच्यामध्ये येऊ शकतो, त्याला म्हणतात सिनॉनिम्स. सिनॉनिम्स म्हणजे काय, समानार्थी शब्द. सिनॉनिम्स म्हणजे काय, समानार्थी शब्द. आता सिनॉनिम्स मध्ये उदाहरण देतो तुम्हाला. सॅम्पल हा शब्द आहे तर त्याचा समानार्थी शब्द कुठला, स्पेसिमन, एक्झाम्पल, इन्स्टन्स, असे त्याचे समानार्थी शब्द आहेत. तसंच मॉडेल शब्द आहे. मॉडेलचे आणखीन समानार्थी शब्द काय आहेत, तर पॅटर्न, ब्लूप्रिंट, स्ट्रक्चर, वी कॉल इट मॉडेल. तर अशा पद्धतीने जे शब्द समोर येतात त्याचे आपल्याला समानार्थी शब्द सांगता आले पाहिजेत, त्याचा अर्थ सांगता आला पाहिजे, त्या अर्थाला तुम्हाला जास्तीत जास्त न्याय देता आला पाहिजे. मग तुम्हाला जे मिळतात मार्क ते त्याची तुम्हाला निश्चितपणे चांगले मार्क मिळायची सुरुवात होईल. हे सिनॉनिम्स सुद्धा एका प्रश्नसंचात तुम्हाला विचारले जातील. त्या सिनॉनिम्सची उत्तरं तुम्हाला पटकन जमली तर अर्थातच तुम्हाला पैकीच्या पैकी मार्क मिळू शकतात. आता आणखीन एक खेळ तुमच्याशी करतात हे या तुमच्या व्होकॅब्युलरी आणि तुम्ही मगाशी म्हणलात त्याप्रमाणे तुमचं व्हर्बल ॲबिलिटी मध्ये, की सेंटेन्स कंप्लिशन, वाक्य पूर्ण करा. तर वाक्य पूर्ण करायचं असेल तर तुम्हाला वाक्य वाचावं लागेल पहिलं, आणि वाक्य वाचल्यानंतर एक लक्षात येतं की त्याच्यात काहीतरी असा पार्ट त्यांनी मुद्दाम सोडलेला आहे ज्यामुळे त्या वाक्याला खऱ्या अर्थाने अर्थ प्राप्त होईल. याचा अर्थ असा, तुम्हाला त्याच्याकरता लॉजिक अप्लाय करावं लागेल तुमचं, आणि लॉजिक अप्लाय करून तुम्हाला एक असा त्यातनं अर्थ काढावा लागेल की उरलेले जे शब्द आहेत त्या शब्दांचा आपण आशय लक्षात घेतला तर उरलेले जे शब्द पूर्ण करायचे ते शब्द कोणते असू शकतील, काळ कोणचा आहे, कोणत्या काळातलं ते वाक्य, वर्तमान काळ, भूतकाळ, भविष्यकाळ, मगाशी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे, आणि ओव्हरऑल त्या अर्धवट असलेल्या वाक्याचा अर्थ काय निघू शकतो हे जर तुम्ही काढलं, त्याच्याकरता जरा तुम्ही प्रयत्न केले तर मला नाही वाटत की कुठे तुम्ही याच्यामध्ये चुकाल. यू विल बी एबल टू व्हेरी इझिली कम्प्लीट द सेंटेन्स. जे सेंटेन्स पूर्ण करायचं आहे ते सेंटेन्स पूर्ण करणं सोपं जाईल. बरेच वेळा असं तिथे दिसेल तुम्हाला की एखाद्या मोठ्या प्रतितयश व्यक्तीने, राजकारण्याने असेल, नेत्याने असेल, एखादं वाक्य उच्चारलं असेल तर ते वाक्य सुद्धा इथे कम्प्लीट द सेंटेन्स मध्ये येऊ शकतं. जसं आपल्या एका सुभाषचंद्र बोस या नेत्यांनी म्हणलं होतं, तू मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा. आता ह्याचं जर इंग्लिशमध्ये वाक्य असेल त्यांनी दिलेलं, यू गिव्ह मी ब्लड आय विल, उरलेलं वाक्य पूर्ण करा. अशा पद्धतीने ते पूर्ण करण्याकरता सांगितलं जाऊ शकतं. स्वराज्य हा माझा जन्मसिद्ध हक्क आहे, लोकमान्य टिळक म्हणले होते. तर लोकमान्य टिळकांचं हे वाक्य इंग्लिशमध्ये त्यांनी ट्रान्सलेट केलं असेल, बरोबर, इंडिपेंडन्स इज माय बर्थ राईट. कळलं, जन्मसिद्ध हक्क आहे. तो बर्थराईट शब्द तुम्हाला आठवला, कम्प्लीट करता आला, यू विल गेट फुल मार्क्स फॉर दॅट. याच्या अर्थाने तुम्हाला त्या नेत्यांनी किंवा अशा प्रतितयश व्यक्तींनी जी वाक्य उच्चारलेली ती जर वाक्य कम्प्लीट करण्याकरता आली ती पूर्ण करणं शक्य होईल. सेंटेन्स अरेंजमेंट, जसं सेंटेन्स कम्प्लीट करा असं वाक्य येतं, अशा प्रकारचा प्रश्न येतो. दुसरा प्रश्न येतो सेंटेन्स अरेंजमेंट, म्हणजे जे काही वाक्य ज्या पद्धतीने मांडले ते एका योग्य सिक्वेन्स मध्ये मांडलेलं नाही, तर ते मांडण्याकरता तुम्हाला परत त्या वाक्याचा अर्थ समजून घ्यावा लागेल. ते वाक्य तुम्हाला मगाशी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे इंग्रजी वाक्य असेल तर तो कर्ता, क्रियापद आणि कर्म अशी त्याची रचना करायला लागेल आणि मग ते वाक्य कदाचित बरोबर अर्थ येऊन तुम्हाला तुमचं वाक्य पूर्ण मिळाल्यानंतर ते मार्क तुम्हाला मिळू शकतात. तर थोडक्यात तुम्हाला अरेंजमेंट करताना लॉजिकचा विचार करायला लागेल, सेन्सचा विचार करायला लागेल, त्याच्या टेन्सचा विचार करायला लागेल. आणि सर्वात महत्वाचं ओव्हरऑल मिनिंग त्यातनं काय निघतंय, ते बरोबर निघतंय का चुकीचं निघतंय, मी मांडला ते अरेंजमेंट केल्यानंतर वाक्य वाचल्यानंतर त्यातनं काय अर्थ निघतो का, हे एकदा पाहिलं की तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की याचा उपयोग तुमच्याकरता खूप होईल आणि हे मार्क तुम्हाला हातचे मिळण्यासारखे आहेत. सेंटेन्स करेक्शन, आता याच्याकरता तुमचं ग्रामर चांगलंच पाहिजे बरं का, पण तरी सुद्धा तुम्ही प्रयत्न केलात की एक लक्षात घ्या की ज्यावेळेला आपण एखादं वाक्य बघतो, ज्यांचं इंग्रजी थोडं चांगलं असतं ना त्यांना कळतं या वाक्यामध्ये चुकलंय काहीतरी, तर जे चुकलंय ते करेक्ट करण्याकरता फक्त तुम्हाला सांगितलं जातं. तर त्याच्याही करता परत लॉजिक, सेन्स, टेन्स आणि ओव्हरऑल अंडरस्टँडिंग तुमचं काय, ओव्हरऑल तुम्हाला मिनिंग कळलंय का त्या वाक्याचं, यावर अवलंबून राहील की तुम्हाला ते सेंटेन्स करेक्ट करता येतं का, ते वाक्य करेक्ट करता येतं का. स्पेलिंग, याच्याही करता तुमचं किती लहानपणापासून तुम्ही इंग्रजी शब्द तुमच्या कानावर पडलेत, त्याचा उपयोग त्या शब्दाचा बरोबर करतोय का आपण, ॲप्रोप्रिएट युसेज ऑफ दॅट वर्ड, that you have to find out whether the word is being used in the correct sense or not. तर त्याच्याकरता तुम्हाला खूप वाचन करायला लागेल, जास्तीत जास्त कॉम्प्रिहेंड करणं शिकायला लागेल, म्हणजे काही गोष्टी समजून घेण्याकरता, इंटरप्रिट करण्याकरता समोर आलेल्या वाक्याचा पुन्हा पुन्हा दोनदा तीनदा वाचल्यानंतरचा अर्थ समजून घेऊन त्याप्रमाणे तुमचं मत व्यक्त करावं लागेल. अशा पद्धतीने जर तुम्ही केलं तर मला नाही वाटत तुमचं कधी उत्तर चुकीचं येईल. सो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट that you should comprehend the time you are comprehending it, every possibility that your answer will be correct. Phrase, आता याच्यामध्ये बघा वाक्प्रचार, मराठीमध्ये आपल्याला बरेच वाक्प्रचार माहिती आहेत, म्हणी पण माहिती आहेत, इंग्रजीमध्ये थोड्या म्हणी कमी माहिती आहेत, पण जेवढ्या म्हणी माहिती करून घेता येतील तेवढ्या म्हणी जरा माहिती करून घ्या. फॉर एक्झाम्पल एक म्हण आहे, स्ट्राईक द आयर्न while it is hot. स्ट्राईक द आयर्न while it is hot, म्हणजे तापल्या तव्यावर पोळी भाजून घ्यावी, मराठी म्हण, त्या म्हणीचं इंग्रजी ट्रान्सलेशन. तसे अनेक वर्ब आहेत दॅट ॲज सून ॲज, किंवा तुमचे आणखीन प्रकार आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये, नो सूनर दॅन किंवा नॉट ओनली बट ऑल्सो. So these are the words, these are the phrases that are being used and that could be used to be able to actually get the correct answer for yourself. आणि ह्याच्याकरता हे फ्रेज माहिती असणं, त्याच्यात वेगवेगळे अर्थ त्या फ्रेजचे माहिती असणं, मगाशी तुम्हाला उदाहरण दिले त्याप्रमाणे त्याचा अर्थ त्याच्याबरोबर मिळाला आणि याची प्रॅक्टिस जर तुम्ही केली तर तुम्हाला सहज त्याचे सुद्धा मार्क मिळू शकतात. आणि सगळ्यात शेवटचा पार्ट तुमच्या ह्याच्यातला सिलेबसमध्ये दिलेला आहे की काहीतरी ऑड सेंटेन्स दिलेलं असतं किंवा ऑड पॅराग्राफ दिलेला असतो, त्याचा असा अर्थ पटकन अर्थार्थी लागत नाही, तर तो तुम्ही त्याचं निरीक्षण केलं, यू नीड टू ऑब्झर्व. यू ऑब्झर्व, यू रिअलाइज की हे पहिलं वाक्य इथं नको, दुसरं वाक्य आहे, तिसरं वाक्य इथं नको, चौथं वाक्य आहे. अशा पद्धतीने तुम्हाला जर प्रायोरिटीज ठरवता आल्या, क्रम, पसंती क्रम त्या वाक्यांचा, एक पॅराग्राफ दिलेला आहे, त्या पॅराग्राफ मध्ये वेडीवाकडी उलटी सुलटी वाक्य लिहिलेली, ती वाक्य सुसूत्र पद्धतीने लिहिणं, त्याच्याकरता तुम्हाला फक्त नंबर द्यायला लागतील. त्याकरता तुमच्या समोर जे प्रश्न आलेले त्या प्रश्नाला तुम्ही बघायचं की यातला वाक्य क्रमांक 3 आहे, ते वाक्य क्रमांक 1 पाहिजे, तर करेक्ट क्रमांक त्याच्यासमोर लिहिला तुम्ही काय पाहिजे, तो करेक्ट क्रमांक तुम्ही लिहिलात की तुम्हाला त्याचे मार्क पूर्ण मिळू शकतात. अशा पद्धतीने तुमचं जे काही आतापर्यंत ग्रामरचा पार्ट होता तर त्याच्यामध्ये मी तुम्हाला या सगळ्या गोष्टी शेअर केलेल्या आहेत. मित्रांनो, आता जे काही मी बोललो, आता जे काही माझ्या आता सेशनमध्ये मी बोललो त्याचं एक पॉवर पॉईंट प्रेझेंटेशन छोटंसं मी तयार केलेलं आहे, ते तुम्हाला या ग्रुपवर माझं हे सेशन संपल्यानंतर, आता माझ्यानंतर सागर सर बोलणार आहेत, सागर सरांनाही तुम्हाला काही गोष्टी त्यांच्याकडे आहेत त्या शेअर करायच्या आहेत. मग तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की तुम्हाला जो हा व्हर्बल ॲबिलिटीचा जो काही पार्ट आहे 50 मार्काचा, त्यातले तुम्हाला नक्की 40-45 मार्क मिळवण्याकरता तुमची तयारी होऊन जाईल आणि मला खात्री आहे की यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर व्हेरी वेल दिस पर्टिक्युलर सेक्शन ऑफ युअर MHCET 2021. You want to get it with good marks, you have to clear with good marks. It's always one of those important section of your question paper for MHCET. The section is headed by verbal ability and comprehension. Verbal ability and comprehension तुमच्यामध्ये जर तुम्ही रुजवलं तर नुसतं या पेपर पुरतं नाही, या परीक्षेपुरतं नाही. This is going to be hugely important skill that you will start to gain and start to harness for yourself and become successful professional in future. तर माझ्या माहितीप्रमाणे जे तुम्हाला आता ह्या थोडक्या वेळामध्ये सांगायचा प्रयत्न करायचा तुम्ही केलेला आहे. आता मी सागर सर यांना विनंती करेन की त्यांनी त्यांचे विचार तुमच्या पुढे मांडावे आणि त्यानंतर तुमचा पुढचा सेशन असेल त्या सिक्वेन्स प्रमाणे तुमचा हा कार्यक्रम चालू राहील. माझ्या तुमच्या सगळ्या पुढच्या भविष्यातल्या असलेल्या तुमच्या आव्हानांना तोंड देण्याकरता आणि तुमच्या स्वतःच्या करिअर करता अतिशय मोठ्या प्रमाणावर माझ्या आशीर्वाद आणि शुभेच्छा. थँक यू व्हेरी मच फॉर being associated with me and our VIIT. I expect you to actually do well in this particular exam. All the best. So over to you, Sagar sir.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Dr. Joshi has guided on English comprehension, verbal ability, and reading comprehension. Actually, that is the topic we are sharing. Okay. Now, I will make you go through the presentation we have prepared. Already, many things sir has discussed. Okay. So, I will not take that much time. So is it visible on your screen, slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. So verbal ability and reading comprehension. So very frankly to say, there are no too much shortcuts to appear for this section, because basically your comprehension about English language, your understanding of English language is very essential to get the maximum marks in this particular section. Okay, so we will go through the PowerPoint presentation. Yes. So for yes. Okay. So for MBA program, the number of questions will be 50, and every question will carry 1 mark. So maximum marks will be 50. For MCA program, number of questions will be 20, and marks per question will be 2, and the maximum marks will be 40. Okay. So this will be the scheme as far as this section is concerned, verbal ability and reading comprehension. Then there are 2 sections. A is verbal ability and second B is reading comprehension. So in verbal ability, section 1, there are these sections such as grammar, vocabulary, sentence completion, synonyms, antonyms. Already sir has given a very good guidance related to all these elements. Okay, so you should be well versed with all these important aspects of English language. Now in grammar, there are 8 major parts, okay, such as noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. So these are 8 important parts of English language grammar. आता हे सगळे तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, मराठीमध्ये नाउन, नाम, सर्वनाम, विशेषण, क्रियापद, क्रियाविशेषण. Okay, so you should be well versed of these things, and these things are playing very important role when you are facing questions such as completion of the sentence. Okay, while answering those questions, the understanding of these important parts of speech is very important. So you should pay attention to the grammar part, and importantly these 8 major parts. Okay, in these 8 major parts, for completing the sentence, the prepositions means, for example, in, out, with, among, within, between, So these prepositions, then conjunctions, okay, which combines the two clauses, which combines the two sentences, such as but, and, or. So use of these conjunctions, these prepositions, understanding of that is important as far as grammar part is concerned. Then another important part in grammar is verb tenses, car. Okay, sir has given explanation of the tenses. This table will help you to understand the 12 different verb tense. So this is the summary. This is the summary of 12 verb tenses. So with the help of this table, you can prepare for the tenses. Then vocabulary. Now there is a very short time between whatever we are giving today and the examination, but every time you should have a habit of reading the things, and only reading could improve your vocabulary. Okay, along with that, there are some other measures also to improve your vocabulary of a particular language. Okay, for example, using diversified ways. Now, using diversified ways means you can watch various English movies, you can watch English serials, and you can note down the words which are new to you and understand, try to understand the meaning of those words. Okay, then make roots your friends. What is the root of that particular word? Okay, many times we see that many words have their roots in Latin or Greek language. Okay, so you should try to understand what is the root of that particular word. Learn a word a day. You should have a habit of learning one new word each day. Then phone dictionary, mobile applications, there are so many mobile applications you can observe which will help you to understand the meaning of the words. And through that you can improve the vocabulary of your English language. The third part is sentence completion. Sir has talked about. Okay, in sentence completion, the understanding of noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, then tenses, all that will help you as an input to answer these questions related to sentence completion. Synonyms, samanarthi shabda, antonyms, viruddharthi shabda. So there is no shortcut for these things. You need to read a lot. And in coming days, till your examination, you should try to collect so many words with their synonyms and antonyms. Okay, am I audible? Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Excuse me, let me one student. The student want to join. Yes. Yes. The second part is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension means a passage is given to you, okay, and then below that passage, number of questions were given. And after reading that passage, you have to answer those questions. Now, what do you mean by reading comprehension? Comprehension, Marathi मध्ये comprehension म्हणजे आकलन. Okay, how you can understand and grasp the things given in that particular passage. So the ability to understand information presented in the written form is called as reading comprehension. And to check your ability of this reading comprehension, a passage is given, and under that some questions are asked. Okay, so depending upon your understanding of that passage, you have to answer the questions given below. Now for that purpose, these things are very important. You may face, as a candidate, you may face the following probable types of questions in the exam. Okay, what type of questions could be there on that paragraph? For example, inference. Inference means what is implied in the passage but not directly stated. त्या passage मध्ये काहीतरी सांगायचा प्रयत्न केलाय पण ते डायरेक्टली सांगितलं गेलेलं नाहीये. So the questions could be related to that. So upon your understanding, you have to understand the paragraph, okay, and you have to be very clear that what is the author want to tell you through that paragraph. So you need to interpret that which is not directly stated. Second thing is the questions could be related with the central idea. Okay, the passage is revolving around which idea? Okay, it could be related with cryptocurrency, it could be related with the environment protection, it could be related with the green initiatives. So what is the central idea? It could be related with e-commerce. Okay, it could be related with pandemic. So what is the central idea? Okay, and the questions related to that central idea they might ask you. Then the tone and style of the author. So in what attitude or in what mood the author has written that particular paragraph. Means whatever the central idea is, what kind of attitude the author is having towards that central idea. Means whether the author has written in a positive attitude towards that idea, whether the author has negative attitude towards that idea. So you need to identify the attitude or mood of that author. Then logical reasoning. Here you have to process the set of information. Okay, in the morning the sessions of logical reasonings have been conducted. So the set of information will be given. You have to apply the logic to find out the correct answer. Then vocabulary. To test the vocabulary of the aspirant. See, in passage there are some phrases, there are some words. They may ask you what is the synonym or what is the antonym for that particular word given in the passage. So that is for to checking the vocabulary of the aspirant. Then the last is questions related to rearrangement. So rearrange the statements in the specified sequence. Okay, you have to observe for the events happening in that particular paragraph. Okay, and then they have given some options to you, and you have to arrange the sentences, you have to arrange the statements according to their happenings. So as far as reading comprehension is concerned, these kind of questions could be asked under the given paragraph. So I have given one example here. One paragraph is given and then there are 7 questions, but we could not complete that task here. But definitely I am going to share this PPT with you, so you can go through this paragraph. The paragraph is related with the cryptocurrency, and then there are 7 questions. There are 7 questions asked under the paragraph. So you should try to answer those questions. Okay, now see what kind of questions they have asked. We will see only the questions. First question is, which of the following is a suitable title for the passage? Now, after going through that passage, you have to suggest a suitable title, and these are the options given. Okay, now your understanding, your comprehension will determine that what will be the suitable title for the passage. Okay, then second, which of the following is or are the impacts of cryptocurrency mining in Zimbabwe as mentioned in the passage? Now this is on the basis of your interpretation. How you interpret means what is not given directly in the passage, which is said, but it is not given directly. So you have to interpret that. So answer of this question will be based on your interpretation of the passage. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So likewise, see the question number 4. Which of the following can be the concluding sentence of the passage? Now, according to you, once you go through that paragraph or passage, okay, what do you think? What should be the concluding sentence of the passage? So options are given. You have to give the most appropriate answer. Likewise, 7 questions are there. You go through the passage, you try to answer these 7 questions, and now there is only one thing you can do to get maximum marks in this coming CET, that try to read maximum number of passages and try to answer the questions given below. Okay, तुम्ही जितकं जास्त passages वाचून answers द्यायचा प्रयत्न कराल, okay, you will get a good hands-on on this particular section, reading comprehension. Okay, then I have mentioned some of the good sources for preparing this session: verbal ability and reading comprehension. Okay, so these are the some reference material. You can use this reference material to score maximum marks in this particular section. I will share this PPT. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It was nice concluding part of what Sagar sir has put across. And let me tell you, even I am sharing PPT in the next moment now. From now, I will be sending the PPT which I have created, which are just guiding words, and they should be able to score very good marks out of that. And I do believe these people have got huge ability to understand things, and they will be in a better position to score better marks and, come out with flying colors. I have a nice faith in them, and I believe they will be able to do that. So all the very best from my side and Mr. Sagar's side. And you have been wonderful audience. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Joshi sir, Sagar sir. Now I request participant of this workshop to see the chat box. A link has been shared with you. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, a link has been shared about feedback of this session. Please fill the details. Okay. Meanwhile, I request Dr. Mahesh sir to highlight on computer concept. This is the last session of this workshop, how to crack MCA MBA CET 2021. I request Dr. Mahesh sir to highlight his view on computer concepts.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just a minute. Let me share the screen.
Hello, Mayank sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
आता अडसूसांचा आवाज येत होता ना?
Hello.
हो, येत होता, sir.
Okay. Hello, Mayank sir. I request you to guide the students about computer concept. This session is exclusively for a technical background for MCA syllabus of CET. Even though those who wants to participate in this session, you can. I wish you all the best for the examinations too. I hand over this session to Dr. Mayank. Mayank sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, guys, welcome back to the another interesting session. I hope you have enjoyed all the sessions which are carried out by our faculty members. And now, screen is visible, sir? Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, this particular part, that is computer concepts, is absolutely for the aspirants, those who are looking for MCA as their, what we can say, post-graduation or the career. And as far as concerning this course, there are 20 questions and the marks are 40. And as you all are aware about the pattern, that there is a negative marking system. So you are about to lose your 0.25 marks against each mistake, and that means the weightage of each mark, each question is 2 marks, so you are about to lose 0.50 marks. Half marks you are going to lose. So unless and until you are sure about the answer, don't dare to make the kind of practice like tupkas and all. So try to avoid that. Whatever the answers you are firm, proceed with the answer only. Otherwise, please ignore. This is what the syllabus which is shown here in this slide, and we are trying to cover most of the points in brief, and then we'll move to this is the marathon kind of session because there are many things I have to discuss, but anyhow we will try to complete it, and followed by this presentation we'll be having some questions which are based on the CET question paper or kind of questions they may ask, right? So let us start with the computer organization or computer basics. This is what the another part which we are going to understand. Yes. So friends, you should look after this IT as a beauty, because see, this is the technology you are going to learn and you are going to understand. So if you might have understood the difference between data, information and knowledge in your graduation, right? So you have to understand each and everything without mugging the passages or number of pages, right? So computer basics, this is what the diagram which depicts the organization of a computer, and you can able to see all the units of a computer architecture as shown in this particular diagram. Students, you all are with me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. So whatever the diagrams you are going through now is like a peanut for you guys. It is very simple, right? Because nowadays those who are doing the MSc course, they are also aware about this architecture and all. So we are not going to spend much time on that, but it is necessary to have the what we can say brief revision about it, right? So you can easily observe there are three things basically: input, processing and output. And when it comes to the input is nothing but what your program and data, and when it comes to the output, it is the information or result, right? And when it comes to the processing, there is a quite complicated procedure, because see, you can easily observe there are two measure blocks, and each measure box contains two sub boxes, right? Small boxes. So secondary storage and primary storage. At the upper side and down the line, there is control unit and arithmetic logic unit. So what is secondary storage? Any idea? Come on fast. If you know, tell me. Yes.
Permanent storage.
Huh? Yes, yes. Yes.
Permanent storage.
Secondary storage is a permanent storage. And
Yes,
what
sir.
about the primary storage?
RAM, sir.
Huh?
Temporary.
Primary is a temporary. Okay, fine, fine. So I hope you all must able to understand, or you must have well understood these basic concepts in your graduations. Still, if you are having any question, any doubt, any difficulty, you can raise your questions during the session. Always welcome, not an issue. Do not keep any hesitation. So you are free to ask the question at any moment. You can interrupt me, right? So control unit and arithmetic logic unit. This is what the what we can say heart of your computer, right? On the another side, there is one more figure which depicts the CPU or the working of CPU. Before I proceed, let me highlight upon the arrows and the meaning. Actually, these arrows, dotted arrows and the solid arrows indicates the flow of information or the communication between this CPU or computer, right? So you can easily observe the solid arrow indicates the flow of instructions and data, and the dotted arrow indicates the control exercised by the control unit, right? And when it comes to the central processing unit, arithmetic logic unit, it is a combination, or it is made up of ALU plus CU, right? Now, as I said, CPU or this entire architecture contains two important things. That means your motherboard, and the second one is processor, right? And then the combination of both is nothing but what your CPU. So CPU is the brain of a computer system, as you know, right? And it is responsible for controlling the operations of all other units of a computer system. So I'm not going to highlight upon much detail about ALU and CU, as you all are aware about it, right? And anyways, I'm going to share this material so that you can go through that material, as we are running out of time, right? Okay. So next point over here is structure of instructions in CPU. Sir, slide has changed or not?
Not changed, sir.
Not changed. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay, fine. So, structure of instructions. So, look at this. So, guys, you must have to, if you're able to understand the flow of this particular diagram, you're able to understand the instructions. Now, look at this. So, whatever the structure we came across in a previous slide, it is the, what we can say, the next part of it, and how the communication is possible within the CPU and amongst the various peripherals and the registers, and there are a lot many things actually. So look at this. Control unit, this is what CU and ALU we came across in the last slide. These are the registers. So what is the role of registers? Anyone, please? If you know the answer, answer it. What is registers? Come on fast. What it holds?
Flags.
What it holds? Registers are used to hold something, and what is that? Okay. Register holds your data. It holds your operators, it holds your operands. And for that, you must have to understand the pipelining concept, which you might have been came across, right? So there are two types of pipelinings, arithmetic and instruction pipelining. So that is the part of your reading, right? So internal CPU bus. Now look at this. This is the bus which is which acts as a medium between the arithmetic logic unit and your control unit, or what we can say registers, right? So here in this box, you can easily observe arithmetic and Boolean logic, right? So what is that arithmetic and Boolean logic? That we are going to understand how computers uses the, or how computer performs the various arithmetic operations, and the Boolean algebra. There is a topic which we are going to understand in brief in the upcoming slides. Then complementer. So guys, you might have came across the concept called complements. One's complement and two complements, two's complements, right? So what is one's complement? What is one's complement? Okay, then shifter. One's complement is a very simple thing. You need to change the digit. If it is 0, you must have to replace it by 1, and vice versa, right? Shifter. So you might have came across the left shift and right shift operators. The same thing is applicable over here. And when I will show you the arithmetic division, that time I will show you how to shift it. Because when there is a 0, and moreover it is a meaningless, then how to shift that I will show you in the another slide, right? Then status flag. So there are some flags. So to understand this, there are a lot many things. Actually, it is a part which besides on some electronic, what we can say, or microprocessor. So what happened when you are going to set the flag to 0, that means there is no operation, and when you set the flag to 1, there is some operation. So these are the two types of flags, 0 and 1, or you can also say positive and negative, right? Then in the another diagram, there is one more thing, but here if you observe, the central CPU bus is quite explored, and now it is being split down into the 3 different types of buses, that is address bus, data bus, and control bus, right? And here there are few things you might have came across. So MBR stands for your memory buffer register, then IR stands for instruction register, then control unit, then MAR stands for memory address register, and your PC, that is program counter. So guys, actually this is there is a separate subject on this, but as we are trying to understand the tricks over here, so you must have to understand the flow of these diagrams only, and that is what more than enough as far as concerning CET, right? Next. Now, the another point over here is the input and output. Let me check something is, yeah, input and output devices. So friends, mouse, keyboard, microphone, scanner, webcam are some of the examples of input devices, and monitor, printer, headphones, and speakers are some of the output devices, right? Now, computer memory. So I have mentioned two different diagrams, or I have put two different diagrams on this particular slide because there is some confusion when it comes to the primary, secondary, and when it comes to the internal, external. So once you go through this, there is no confusion about it, right? So there are different types of memories, internal, and basically as shown in the diagram 1, they are categorized into internal and external memory, and they are further divided into RAM, cache, sequential access, virtual, and ROM, right? So when it comes to the RAM, there are two different types of RAM, SRAM and DRAM, right? So similarly, when it comes to the ROM, there are four different flavors. MPROM, MROM, sorry. What is MROM? What is the full form of MROM? Yes? Any idea? Any idea? See, these are the questions you are going to face in your examination. They may ask some full forms also, and you should be in a position to answer those questions. No doubt we are going to see some sample questions at the end of this presentation, but during the discussion also, I am going to cover many questions. So be careful about it. MROM, any idea? It is mask read-only memory, or it is a MPROM. There is one more flavor, MPROM, which is known as mask programmable read-only memory. Then PROM, programmable read-only memory. EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. And E2PROM, that is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So you should be aware with all these full forms. Then when it comes to the external memory or external RAM, not RAM, sorry, it is an external memory. So there are three things again: solid state, magnetic state, and the optical state, right? So when it comes to the optical, CDs and DVDs are the examples of your optical discs. Then magnetic, hard drives, and earlier days there are floppy disks were used. Now those days are gone away, and even you can't see the floppy in the market, right? Then solid state drive, it contains the solid state drive, then USB memory and the sticks, right? Then the second diagram is, there is no much variation about it. Only the thing is that most of the time I observed students get confused when it comes to the internal, external, and primary, secondary, right? That is why I have intentionally put this another diagram over here. So primary, there are two things, volatile and non-volatile. What is volatile memory?
RAM.
That is given over there. Dear, I am asking, what is the meaning of volatile and non-volatile? See, these are the very basic things you must have to. They might have, or they may give a statement. Dash dash is the memory. Yes. Yes. What is the difference between volatile and non-volatile?
Sir, volatile is holding temporary some values. Non-volatile is a permanently held value.
Under what circumstances? Under what circumstances? In case you reboot your system or power failure occurs. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we already came across the different flavors of RAM and ROM. So be specific. They may confuse either by asking the internal, RAM is internal memory or RAM is volatile memory, right? Then PROM is a internal memory or it is a non-volatile memory. So they may confuse, right? They may create some situation and they insist you to opt the wrong answer, but you should be careful about it. And that is why I've been given that particular thing over here. Then yes, we already came across the secondary. So secondary memory is nothing but what? Magnetic storage, optical storage, and flash storage, right? Yeah. Fine. So let us proceed further. This is the memory architecture and the organization, right? So first of all, we'll discuss about the memory architecture in brief. So RAM, PROM, and flash, these are the types of memory, and they are known as what the main memory also. Then you'll be having a cache memory and a down the line. So what is the difference between cache memory, or what is the quality of cache memory, or what is the characteristic of cache memory? Come on fast. Cache memory, what is cache memory? Which one is faster, cache or ROM or PROM or flash? Which one is faster? Your main memory or cache memory?
Cache.
Cache. Why? See, these are the types of questions they are going to ask. Fine. So cache memory is faster because when it comes to the booting of your system, or when your operating system boots, so that time the speed you are going to the moment when you purchase the laptop, you are specific about the RAM, and you know the calculation. Maximum is the RAM, maximum is the speed, right? So try to search some more material about it, right? And cache memory is larger in size or smaller in size?
Smaller.
Yes. And when it comes to the processing, it is a faster, right? Fine. So look at this. These are what the things which we already came across: control unit and the arithmetic logic unit, and the operations are already been given over here, right? So now look at this, how the memory is arranged, right? Or how the memory is organized in your hard disk or in your primary or secondary storage devices. So this is what the structure, and you just have to understand it, but there will be a question or questions based on the types of memories, their full forms, etc. Right? So shall I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and see, though I am explaining or I am covering all these things in brief, you must have to understand the flow also. The arrows are indicating the flow, right? That you must have to understand. And even your test is on, I think, 15th. Still, if you are having any doubts, you can drop your doubts or queries on the WhatsApp groups. So you will be getting the immediate reply from VIIT staff, right? Now, the another part over here is, unless and until you studied this part, your computer concepts are not, completed. So data representation. So as you know, the data is represented in computers in the different forms, but computer understands only zeros and ones, called binary, right? But when it comes to the data representation, you must have to come up with 4 basic operations. That is the what we can say conversions, and then it contains arithmetic operations, and then it contains complements. So there are lots of things. So first of all, I will try to understand the decimal number system. It has 10 symbols, 0 to 9, and that is why it is having the base 10. The maximum value of a single digit is 9, which is a thumb rule. As you are IT guys, you must have know these basics. Then there is a small example given over here. We have this decimal number is given over here, and look at this. So how this representation has been given over here. So 6 into base means 10. So for decimal, base is 10, base raised to 0, then base raised to 1, base raised to 2, and base raised to 3. And this is how you have to represent your data when it comes to the computers as far as concerning the decimal number system. Then the binary number system. It has only 2 symbols, zeros and ones, right? And that is why the base is 2. And now here we'll try to convert this binary number to its decimal equivalent, right? And the operation or the process is very simple again. Look at this. So you have to start from the left. Remember, this is the thumb rule. You have to start from the left digit, leftmost digit, or the last digit. and the same sequence you must have to follow, and accordingly you must have to set their powers. So 0, 1, 2, and look at this. This is what the ultimate result. And once you add this, you'll be getting the ultimate result, that is the decimal equivalent of this binary number. Any doubt? Shall I proceed? Hello guys, you all are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Octal number system. So as we know, there are only 0 to 7. These are the 8 numbers, and it has a base 10 and
base 8.
Yes, base 8. It has a base 8. Now we have to convert this octal number to its decimal equivalent, right? So we have to convert this octal number to its decimal equivalent. And see, the operation is very simple. 7 into 8 raised to 0. Again, the power is going to change. And as the thumb rule says, you have to start from the leftmost digit, right? And this is how we'll be getting the decimal equivalent of this 2057. Though it seems a digital number, but as the base is given over here is 8, so this is your octal number, and you must have to convert it to its binary equivalent. Okay. Then hexadecimal. As we know, hexadecimal must contain 0 to 9 and capital A to capital F. So this is how it contains the 16 numbers and characters, or 16 digits, and its base is 16, right? And now it's time to convert this 1AF16, base 16, this number, to its decimal equivalent, right? So it is F into 16 raised to 0, then A into 16 raised to 1, and 1 into 16 raised to 2. And this is how we'll be getting the decimal equivalent of this hexadecimal number. And there are lots of flavors of conversion. You can convert hexadecimal to octal, you can convert octal to binary, binary to digital, and so on, right? So all these operations are very simple. Then there is another concept called fractional numbers, right? So fractional numbers are formed same way as decimal number system, and in general, now look at this. Look at this, what happened over here. In general, a number in a number system with base B would be written as, now look at this, A, look at this, this is the series and how it is been given over here. AN, then AN minus 1, then A0 dot A minus 1, see its value is minus 1, minus 2, etc., right, and minus n, right? So when it comes to the number systems or the numbers like this, how to deal with that? So look at this. It would be interpreted to mean, now look at this. This is what the point you should have to understand properly. Look at this A. This is the base, and multiply by B raised to n. This is the power. This n is indicating the, or it representing the power over here, and so on, right? So this is how the operation is, with a little bit difference is same. Only the thing is that you must have to understand properly, right? Now the symbols AN minus 1 and A minus n in the above representation should be one of the B symbols allowed in the number system. And this is how the binary numbers or fractional numbers are formatted, and this particular small diagram is indicating the same thing. Now look at this. There are positions. So few numbers are positive and few numbers are negative. So look at this. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 dot minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And the position values, as the positions value, to identify it very simple, you simply have to put the position, right? So 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, and look at this. It begins from again the left hand side, 2 raised to minus 4, 2 raised to minus 3, and so on. So base position values need not to change, and you need not to bother about it. Then quantity represented over here. So what it indicates? Now look at this, right? I hope there should be no any confusion about the quantities represented over here. And there is a small example given over here, solved example. So how to convert it, how to deal with the fractional numbers. So 110 0.11101 to the base 2, and we have to convert this binary number to its decimal equivalent. And the rule is again very simple. You simply have to put the appropriate values, position values, right? So 1 into 2 raised to minus 3 plus 0 into 2 raised to minus 2 and so on. So you'll be getting the answers over here, and once you put them together, so you'll be getting the binary decimal equivalent of this binary number, right? Try to grab these things in a fast track, as we have to cover a lot many topics and the questions also. That is why I am in a hurry. But still, if you are having any doubt, once you receive the material, you can drop your questions or queries on the group. Then binary arithmetic. So binary arithmetic, there are 4 operations possible on the binary numbers. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? So addition, there are some rules. So when it comes to the 0 plus 0, it is 0, no doubt. 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 0 is 1. And 1 plus 1, it holds a carry to the next higher column. And look at this, which is given over here in the small example. Now look at this. This is the addition of 10011 plus 1001. And the moment when I'm going to add these binary numbers, so 1, 1, and by applying this rule over here, so I'm going to put 1 carry in front of the next higher column, because see, this is the next higher column. This is the 0th position, this is the 10th, this is the 100th position, and so on. So you can understand it in this way. This is the next higher column, and the carry is placed over here. And similarly, when it comes to the 1, 1 again, because 0 is meaningless in this case, right? So again, the 1, 1 means again there is a scope to generate a carry. So again, this carry is put in front of the next higher column, right? And so on. So there is no 1. So straight away you can put 1 over here. And as you know, 0, see the table or the rules over here. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1. And this is how you'll be getting the arithmetic addition of the 2 binary numbers, or binary addition of the numbers, right? And this is what the decimal equivalent. This is what the decimal equivalent. Next, subtraction. There is again a set of rule for the subtraction. Only the thing is that when it's 0 minus 1, so you must have to put 1 with a borrow from the next column. So you have to borrow 1 from the next column, and which is given here in this example. Now look at this. 1 minus 0 is 1. Again, 1 minus 1 is 0. Now look at this. 1 minus 0, which is already given, that is 1. Then 0 minus 0, 1 minus 0 is 1. 0 minus 1 is again 1. Then 1 minus 1 is again 0. Then what you are supposed to do? Look at this. Actually, when I proceed with the next higher column, before that 0 minus 1, and by rule, what it does? 1 with a borrow from the next column. So 1 borrow, 0 minus 1, that is why 1, borrow has been put or placed over here. Then the 0 minus 1, but it is not actually, you must have to consider this 1 also. So 1 minus 1, that is why it is 0, and so on. So this is how we will be getting the binary subtraction. Clear? Binary subtraction is okay? Hello guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So what type of numbers and on what numbers you have to perform the operation is not a big deal. Only the thing is that you must have to understand the rules given over here. If you are able to understand these rules, number, no barrier. Then multiplication, right? So simple rules for the multiplication: 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0, 1 into 0, 0, and 1 into 1, 1, right? Now, look at this. So when you try to multiply these two numbers, right? So this is the multiplicand and the multiplier. Now look at this. So you simply have to focus on the rules, and accordingly you must have to start with your operation. As you are doing the regular multiplication, the same thing is applicable over here, right? But I don't think you'll be having any doubt over here. Only the thing is that whenever a 0 appears in the multiplier, a separate partial product consisting of a string of zeros need not be generated because it is meaningless. Now look at this here in this case. Look at this 0. This particular row and this particular row or column, meaningless. There is no use of this, right? And that is why what you are supposed to do, you have to shift them. And how you are going to shift them? Look at this, which is given over here. So 1 0 1 0, which is similarly given over here. By performing the operation, you'll be getting this. And then instead of this 0 or this 4 0, simply you have to put 1s, that is left shift. And again for this, you have to put another s, that is left shift. And this is how you'll be getting the same answer. So why to go to increase and or to go for the extra round trips? If there is no meaning of 0, you simply put s, which indicates the left shift. Okay. Then division. So division is again very simple. So friends, if you are in the impression that these topics are just for the sake of your CET, you are in a false illusion. Because when you are going to face a subject called computer networking or any data communication or computer networks, you must have to deal with this particular arithmetic operation once again. So be careful about it, right? Because error detection and correction is highly impossible unless and until you understand the division, binary division, right? Because most of the problem are concentric to binary divisions only. Fine. So there are again some basic rules. 0 into 0, divide by 0, you'll be getting the error. Then 0 divided by 1, 0. Then 1 divided by 0, again you'll be getting some error. And actually it is not accepted. Division by 0 is not at all accepted. And finally 1 divides 1, you'll be getting the answer 1. And you have to apply the same rule over here. Now look at this: quotient, dividend, and remainder. These are the three things, right? So rightly I have said the error detection and control. If your remainder is 0, in case if you are tracking some error detection, if your remainder is 0, then your code word or your data sent doesn't carry any error. Or if it is something other than 0, definitely it contains a error, right? So look at this, the same rule, very simple thing, right? Then floating point representation. So there are three things or three different types of operations you might this is the very fundamental topic, and definitely it might be covered somewhere in a graduation. So I'm not going to cover it in much detail. Only the thing is that there are two things actually we have to understand. The first thing is to convert the floating point into decimal. We have three elements in 32-bit floating point representation, and these three things are sign, exponent, and mantissa. So friends, this is not the right time to explain each and everything, as I'm going to recall and briefing the things, right? And when it comes to the second thing I'm going to share over here is to convert the decimal into floating point, right? Which is exactly opposite to the previous one. We have three elements in a 32-bit floating point representation, that is sign, MSB, most significant bit, then exponent, 8-bit after MSB, and mantissa, remaining 23 bits. So how it is applicable? You go through the material later on. Now Boolean algebra. So again, this is the very simple and the very large topic for the discussion, but I'm going to cover it in a brief, right? So use of binary digit. Boolean equations can have either of two possible values, zeros and ones, right? And somewhere in your 11th or 12th, you might have came across the chapter which contains the topics like truth tables and all. So this is what the part which talks about the same thing. So logical addition, the symbol is same and it is known as OR operation. Then logical multiplication, it is known as AND operation, and complement, that is NOT, right? NOT operation. So I hope you all are comfortable with this. Truth tables and all. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is why I'm going to curtail it and I'm not going to discuss it in more detail, right? And operator precedence. So we already know the maximum weightage is given to which type of operator. That is what the thing which is been depicted with the help of this diagram. So if it is a power, you must have to solve it first, then multiplication second, and the third one is your multiplication, addition, right? So this is what the operator precedence over here. Then Venn diagram. This is what the very interesting part, right? So what is Venn diagram? Yeah. So Venn diagram is a representation. There are different types of Venn diagrams, but I'm going to cover one simple example over here, right? So with the help of which you are in a position to understand the Venn diagrams. So the example is, suppose that in a town, 800 people are selected by random types of sampling methods. 280 go to work by car only, 220 go to work by bicycle only, and 140 use both ways, sometimes go with a car and sometimes with a bicycle. Here are some important questions. We will find the answers. The first question is, how many people go to work by car only? How many people go to work by bicycle only? How many people go by neither car nor bicycle? How many people use at least one of both transportation types? And how many people use only one of car or bicycle? So this is what the question, and similar kind of questions may be there in your CET, right? This is a quite bigger one. So they may ask 2 to 3 things to identify, or they ask you to draw the Venn diagrams. Fine. Now, on the basis of the description given over here, or on the basis of the problem statement, right? So there are total 800 people, and the description is given over here. 280 go by car, 220 go by bicycle only, and 140 use both ways, and sometimes go with car, sometimes with bicycle. So by understanding this, look at this. This is the Venn diagram drawn. So 280 people go by car. Look at this. 280 people go by car. Then people go by bicycle 220, right? So look at this. Bicycle 220 and 140. What is this 140 indicates? 160 people go by neither car nor bicycle. And 140. What is this 140? What is this crowd? What it uses?
Both.
Both. Right. Now look at this. The answers are given over here. Number of people work by car 280, go to work by car only 280, by bicycle 220. Those who haven't used both type of vehicles 160. And now number of people, now look at this. Number of people who use at least one of both transportation types equal to n. So n is 800. N is 800 here in this case, right? So only car, only car plus only bicycle plus both car and bicycle. So this is what the figure, look at this, 280 plus 220 plus 140. So this is what the 640. And the last answer is number of people who use only one of car or bicycle equals to 280 plus 220 is equals to 500. And this is how you must have to deal with the Venn diagrams, right? So friends, after that, there is a third point actually as far as concerning your syllabus, computer architecture, and it contains again the block structure of computer, communication between processor and input-output devices, which we already covered. Only the last point remaining from this third section is interrupts. And these are the some operations possible on the Venn diagram: intersection, union, and complement, right? Now interrupts. So what do you mean by interrupt? So interrupt is a in computer architecture is a signal that requires the processor to suspend its current execution and service the occurred interrupt. So you might have came across the subject called Java multi-threading. Java threads, yes or no?
Yes.
What is the role of suspend method over there? What is the role of suspend method? Thread life cycle. Have you gone through the thread life cycle?
Yes, sir.
If something goes wrong with the thread when it is under the execution, it is either terminated by the JVM or it is been put to the wait state by using the different methods, wait or suspend, and once that interrupt is been clear, then it is again invoked by the JVM either by giving the notify or notify all method. Remember, see, the roots of that thread multi-threading or Java thread are lies with the operating system. That is why none of the subject is untouched. Being an IT guys, you must have to get in touch with all the subjects starting from your first semester to last semester, right? There are two types of interrupts: hardware interrupt and the software interrupts. So again, hardware interrupt has two types: maskable interrupt and non-maskable interrupt. And down the line, there is a instruction cycle with interrupts is been given over here, right? So flow is very simple. The execution starts, then fetch next instruction, execute instruction, and something had happened with this and interrupt gets invoked. So again, that means it goes to the suspended or wait state, and again, you have to start from the beginning once it is invoked, right? So these are what the interrupts. Now sample question. So yes, and last point remaining over here, look at this. So computer language. So friends, there are two things: assembly language and high level language. So what is the difference between assembly language and high level language? Can you please tell me? Come on fast, we are running out of time. Assembly language or machine language, which is also known as machine level language, low level language. What is the difference? C is a dash type of language. Low level language, assembly language, high level language.
Low level language.
Low level language. How comes low level language? How comes? What is low level language? You answer this question, but you don't know the background. Why it is low level language?
Because it is a programming language.
Yes, it is a
Programming language.
programming language. Yes, C is a programming language. We are talking about whether it is high level. Why it is high level? If it is assembly, why it is assembly? If it is low, why it is low level? This is what the thing. Are you sure Java is a low level language?
No, sir. I think assembly.
Assembly means?
Sir, which language is easier to human, understandable by human being?
But that is
not a
known as what?
computer.
That is known as higher level language. As we are using the syntaxes, variables, characters, statements, as per our understanding, and we'll be having that freedom while writing the code, source codes. That is why it is high level language. But the girl answered it is a low level language, which is again also true. So dear friends, you have to specific with the answers, because when it comes to the embedded systems, you might have came across the embedded system. Embedded systems are using the C programming as a basic programming language. Embedded systems means what? You might have came across those ICs, integrated circuits. Have you came across it? It looks
Yes,
like a
sir.
cockroach. It looks like a cockroach, right? So those are
Yes,
nothing
sir.
but what the integrated circuits. And on those integrated circuits, you might have observed there are some lines are drawn. Those lines are drawn is okay, but these integrated circuits contains a programs. And those programs are written in the machine level language, which is also known as what the low level language. And C, that is why C is also known as what the low level language. And there are lot many characteristics and features which makes it low level. But I have highlighted upon the very important use of or the function why it is in the machine level or low level language. Fine. Then computer programming in C. So you may be having some output kind of questions. They have given a chunk of code, 3-4 lines of code, and they might have asked you to identify the correct output, right? Or they have asked you to perform some basic operations, right? So be specific about the C programming also. They are going to ask 1 to 2 questions based on the output, C programming output and all. Then the last point over here is the operating system basics. Now, in operating system basics, you must have to understand the different types of operating systems, different categories or classifications of the operating systems. Then the features, because see, your generation definitely came across Windows 7, Windows 10, and some of they are also came across Windows 8 and 8.1 also. So what is the difference? What are the server operating systems? What are the desktop operating systems? And there are lots of things you must have to study in that. Again, IPC, there is one more important topic. Please go through that topic, which is known as IPC, Inter-Process Communication, which tells you how the operating process is how the operating system has been working on the basis of the communication. So IPC is a heart of that operating system you want to understand, right? Then again, you must have to understand when you install something on your hard disk, when you try to install the operating system on your hard disk for the first time, it is not being installed directly, but you might have came across a pen drive or DVD or CD, and you might have used a word bootable pen drive है क्या? So अगर आप bootable pen drive की बात कर रहे हो, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि what do you mean by the bootable? It installs something on your hard disk before you install the operating system, and what is that you need to identify, right? So this is how you and then you have to come up with the basic features of operating systems, characteristics of operating systems, types of operating systems. This is what the basic thing expected from this syllabus. Now we will move to some sample questions. Okay, so can you able to see this PDF file?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the syllabus as usual. I have also put it on my slides also. Just a minute. So we are trying to understand some basic questions over here or the nature of the question. So this is 50 pages material. Okay, now look at this. See the question, and these are the sample questions from the previous CET tests or the CETs. Starting with the slowest rank, there are 5 questions, and you must have to write down the answers. At the end, I'm going to cross-check the answers, and we are going to conduct this exercise for another 2 to 3 minutes. So ready with your pen and pencil or a paper and pen, whatever it may be. So starting with the slowest rank, the following in increasing order of speed. Rank the following in the increasing order of speed. Cache, main memory, hard disk, CD-ROM. That is why I have asked. So look at this. आपको कहाँ से क्या question आएगा? Nobody knows. So cache, main memory, hard disk, and CD-ROM. So you have to arrange them according to their speed, starting with the slowest to fastest. Done with the answer? Shall I proceed for the next question? Which is the most basic function of an operating system? providing a database management system, providing a graphical software development environment, providing backward compatibility with the older processors, providing an efficient virtual machine abstraction. Guys, you have to write the answers, and if you know the answer, you can let me know. Question number 1, what is the answer?
D, sir.
Yes?
D.
D.
D or B? Ball or dog?
D, sir. C drum. Dog.
D. Okay. Okay. We will cross check at the end. Right? Then, which is the most basic function of an operating system? Yes? Tell me what? First. Come on, guys. We are running out of time. Okay. Not an issue. Okay. Which of the following is a characteristic of a data type in programming languages? Its structure, the way it is stored, its behavior, the operations it supports, the number of bytes required to store variable of that type, and none of the above. देखो, पढ़ाने को तो मैंने आपको बहुत सीधे सीधे पढ़ा दिया, लेकिन मैंने क्या बोला? They are going to ask anything. That is why ये पूरे आपके सेंसर जो है ना, you should have to work with the proper and working sensors. Then the fourth question, see, suppose a system has been evolved called the ternary system by creatures having only 3 fingers. Numbers in the system are written down using the digits 0, 1 and 2 with 2 is greater than 1 is greater than 0. What will be the binary equivalent of 222 in this system? What will be the binary equivalent of 222 in this system? And the 4 options are given over here: 101010, 11000, 10110, and 11010. So you have to practice it. The conversions you must have to practice. Otherwise there is no shortcut. तो एक ही कर सकते हो उसमें, इसको ऑप्शन में छोड़ सकते हो. ऑप्शन में आप चाहे जितना छोड़ दो, आपको 1 मार्क भी मिल गया, आपको कहीं भी एमसीए में एडमिशन आपको तो मिलना ही है अगर आपका स्कोर 1 भी है. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू द कॉलेज, ड्रीम कॉलेज, मेरिट matters, score matters. Then look at this. Consider the following program segment. जो भी मैंने आपको 3-4 प्लेयर बोले थे कि क्या क्या पूछ सकते हैं. So see this question based on C programming. Look at this. 2 values are given and they are initialized to I is initialized to 6720, J is initialized to 4. So while look at this, I, what is this operator? What is this operator? I %J. क्या ऑपरेटर है? हाँ, क्या ऑपरेटर है ये? Modulo. So I modulo J is equals to 0, I is equals to I divides J is equals to J plus 1. And what will be the value of J on termination of the segment? On termination of the segment means what? Completion of this loop. What will be the value of J? So I hope you all are comfortable with the type of questions they are going to ask. Now I will let you know the answers for all the questions. नहीं तो आप बोलोगे सर कोई नहीं आ रहा है, सर ही कंफ्यूज लग रहे हैं क्या? That is not the thing, my dear friends. तो आप आंसर्स लिखे होंगे आपने, तो आप जस्ट क्रॉस चेक कर लो और आउट ऑफ 5 मार्क्स आपको दे दो. नीचे और कुछ क्वेश्चंस है वो मैं आपको 2-3 मिनट में बता दूंगा एंड देन आई विल कंक्लूड माय सेशन. ओके, सो स्टार्टिंग विद द स्लोएस्ट रैंक, So you already gone through the question and I have given enough time. The answer is D or B. Answer is B. Your answer is B. CD-ROM, hard disk, main memory and cache. The second question, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, ये तो बहुत और एक मैं आपको अच्छी चीज बताता हूं इसमें क्या पता है क्या, कुछ क्वेश्चन जो है ना लॉजिकली आप तुक्के बिल्कुल मार सकते हो, क्योंकि ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का और डेटाबेस का कोई वैसे भी रिलेशन है नहीं, सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट का तो कोई वैसे है ही नहीं, उसके बाद ये क्या है, ओल्डर प्रोसेसर्स, बैकवर्ड कंपेटिबिलिटी, कोई रिलेशन है ही नहीं, लॉजिकली स्पीकिंग देयर इज नो रिलेशन. तो D is the answer, providing an efficient virtual machine abstraction. Then we will proceed with the question number 3. Which of the following? Yes. The answer is A. The answer is A because it's very simple. The question is, which of the following is a characteristic of a data type in programming language? So it's structure, right? The way it is stored. So answer is A. Then question number 4. तो आपको क्या करना है यहाँ पे, ये इसका just a minute, let me adjust this. So what you are supposed to do, you have to identify the binary equivalent, and the binary equivalent is yes D. Cross check the answer. और क्रॉस चेक कैसे करोगे, कैलकुलेट करके देखना पड़ेगा. देन अब यहाँ पे बिल्कुल सिंपल चीज है, देखो ये आपको इसका मॉड्यूलो निकाल लेना पड़ेगा पहले. I डिवाइड्स J, दैट मीन्स 6720 डिवाइड्स 4. उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है, वॉट एवर द रिजल्ट विल बी गेटिंग, I इज इक्वल्स टू I डिवाइड्स J एंड J इज इक्वल्स टू J+1. तो ये आपको ये पता चल गया, तो रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर वेरी सिंपल एंड योर आंसर मस्ट बी यस. कर लिया किसी ने, या किसी ने नहीं? आंसर मस्ट बी सी, दैट इज 9. क्लियर? तो देखो क्रॉस चेक कर लेते आंसर्स भी नीचे. ये देखो B1 का आंसर है आपका B, 2 का D है, 3 का A, 4 का D है, 5 का C है. तो जरूरी नहीं कि हर चीज आप बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेस लेके पढ़ो और हर क्वेश्चन के लिए आप बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर लो. बहुत सारी चीजें, क्वेश्चंस तो ऐसे होते हैं, यू कैन लॉजिकली थिंक अबाउट देम एंड यू कैन आंसर देम, बट इफ यू आर नॉट श्योर, डोंट डेयर टू अटेम्प्ट दैट 0.5, you are going to lose. So friends, just 2-3 minutes and I will highlight upon the different flavors of the questions they are going to ask. Now look at this. Which of the following memories needs refreshing? SRAM, DRAM, ROM, all of the above. I'm having the answers for all the questions down the line, but for that you have to go through the 46 pages, right? Now look at this. Can you tell what passes into and out from the computer via its ports? Data, bytes, graphics, pictures, right? So sort of questions you may be having and you must have to understand them. Now look at this. Which of the items below are considered removable storage media? Removable hard disk cartridges, then magneto-optical discs, CD, DVDs, flexible discs, cartridges, and all of the above. So what type of questions they are going to ask, nobody knows. But what is the way you are going to follow to study and to prepare matters, right? Now look at this. The control unit of microprocessor. This is the questions which is purely based on your computer architecture. It stores data in the memory, accepts input data from the keyboard, performs arithmetic or logic function, and none of the above, right? Now look at this. कितना simple question है देखो, लेकिन आंसर देखो. Which of the following is internal memory? Disks, pen drives, RAM, CDs, and that is why I have mentioned the two separate figures which contains a summary of memory. क्योंकि internal memory, external memory, primary memory, secondary memory, they used to confuse the students. right? Now, which operation is not performed by computer? Inputting, processing, controlling, understanding. So for that, you must have to understand the characteristics of a computer, right? So floppy disks, ये तो भी मैंने बोला आपको दिखने भी नहीं मिलेंगे अभी मार्केट में, right? So friends, look at this. The operating system. This question is based on the operating. A collection of related instructions organized for a common purpose is referred to as file, database, program. None of the above. दोनों में आ सकता है, कंप्यूटर्स में भी आ सकता है, OS में भी आ सकता है. So you all are comfortable with the way or the pattern of the question and whatever the content we have been covered so far. Say yes, say no. You all are with me? Hello guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then okay. Now look at this. देखो अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आया, देखो क्या क्वेश्चन है, देखो which unit holds data permanently. Again this question is concentric to the computer memory. Input unit, secondary storage unit, output unit, primary memory unit, isn't it? Now look at this. Before a disk can be used to store data, it must be formatted, reformatted, addressed. None of the above. Operating installation of an operating system. Question based on OS. So there are lots of interesting questions, but as we are running out of time, and I hope you must have get the clear-cut idea about the examination and the type of questions. Okay. There is a question on the, look at this. Through which device the main components of the computer communicate with each other? Keyboard, system bus, monitor, memory. Look at it. So similar kind of questions they are going to ask. And okay, I think these are what some practice questions, and you must have to come up with some more questions and how to study in the limited span of time. Answer is very simple. Go to the syllabus, pick the topic, put it in the Google search engine, and you'll be getting the hundreds of links down the line based on your topic. Try to study the maximum MCQs from that place. So you'll be getting most of the answers. This is how you'll be able to wind up your studies in a limited span of time, right? Okay, friends. So by the end of this, I'm going to conclude my session. I'm going to share my material also. And if you are having any difficulty, any problem, you drop your messages as I'm repeating it thrice, right? So be comfortable to ask your questions and queries. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayank sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So with this presentation, with this session, we are at the end of our today's workshop on how to crack MCA and MBA CET 2021. So students, I hope you would have feel this session very good and fruitful for your preparation towards cracking the CET. I request you to give feedback regarding today's workshop. The link is shared in the chat box. So please give your feedback by clicking on the link. Okay. Am I audible, students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope you found this workshop fruitful and beneficial for you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody from participant would like to express his or her views? Anyone? Okay, but please at least provide your feedback by clicking on the link shared in the chat box. So we are at the end of the workshop. I would like to thank all the MBA and MCA aspirants for being present, for this workshop organized for you people. Then I would like to thank our director, sir, Dr. Anand Deshmukh, sir, okay, for continuous presence throughout the workshop and for motivating us to organize such a workshop. Then I would like to thank all the faculty members, all the resource persons for this workshop, all teaching and non-teaching staff to make this workshop a successful event. So here I declare that the workshop is over here.